the floor because we have work to do. Welcome to the grind. Welcome to Cappers Nation, your weekly all things sports betting show. Tune in live every Thursday at 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Let us make you a more successful sports bettor.
Good morning. Happy Monday morning. Cappers Nation Live, Monday the 19th of October. We're here. We're alive. We're licking our wounds. Monday Night Football. Could it be overreaction Monday? Might be. Might need to take a big stab at something after last night. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have everybody tuning in. Nathan here, bright and early, ready to rock and roll. Jermaine, Mr. Brown, Bobby M. Matt, good morning. Scott, good morning. John G, good morning. Joe Chris, good morning. Greg Ingle, good morning, sir. Pat, good morning. Scott says the coffee is going down smooth this morning. Coffee is great this morning. Cheers, brother. Dan McCarthy, good morning. Dennis, good morning. Mr. Brackens, good morning. Bob Smith. Kianong, good morning. Eli Rodriguez, good morning. Real Champ in the house, good morning. If I miss you, I do apologize. It's nothing on purpose. Reg, good morning. The Legend, good morning. Matt Chris, which I think I already got you. Stat Guap in the house. Brad in Australia, what's going on? Mike Z, good morning. Jason C, good morning. Says no way he's laying money on Dalton and the Cowboys defense. Brandon, good morning. Mr. Grover, good morning. Greg says, good morning, Kyle. Beautiful Arizona morning. It is a beautiful morning. Aaron, good morning. Glenn W. in the house. William in the house. Good morning, everybody. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to make this a fantastic Monday. Antoine, what is going on, my brother? Good morning. One way or another, we're going to find some ways. Volume. We could turn the volume up a little. Maybe that's a little bit better for you. I might have had it a little on the low side. Bobby M says, go head to the gym and staying healthy while tuning into Cappers Nation. Love it. Joshua, good morning in the Philippines. Tar Heel Tim says he won big money on the Sunday NFL guaranteed play. Absolutely. That was a nice one. Man, those things just keep delivering week after week after week after week. What are they now? 6-0? 6-0. It's like free money every Sunday. I gave a little bit of the profits back last night on the Rams. Gave a little bit of that money back on the Rams yesterday. A nice chunk of it. Lost $6,500. Post a copy of my ticket on Twitter yesterday. So for all the people out there that say you don't bet, you can kiss my white ass. Kiss this good old American ass. Absolutely I do. And I did. I lost. I got my butt kicked last night. Got my butt spanked to the tune of $6,500 on the Rams. But you know, it happens. It happens. They had the opportunities. You give me that same situation and you let me have a do-over, we win a lot more than we lose. They might have played like dog shit, but the crazy thing is they still had a fighting chance. All they actually had to do was actually, maybe catch the ball. I mean, it was put on the fingertips in some spots and couldn't haul it in. Dropped a pass in the end zone. Another long one down to the 3 or 4 that resulted in nothing. So we did have our chances. We did have our chances. But nonetheless, we fell flat. And you know, that's okay. Does it hurt? Yeah, it doesn't feel very good. Doesn't feel very good when you dunk off 6,500. But hey, it's sports betting. Those things happen. They can and will happen. And it probably won't be the only big bet that I lose. I hope it's the biggest one that I lose in a while, because it's a good one. It was a stinger. It was a stinger nonetheless, but that's okay. We'll get it back. I took part of the profits from the Sunday guarantee and stepped up my bet on the Rams. I actually really liked the Rams yesterday, if it wasn't obvious. If it wasn't obvious. And I'll get that ticket up into the system. We'll show it off. Because, you know, I think it's important to show losers. It's important to show winners and losers. Anybody can show a winning ticket, but most importantly, not many people can show a losing ticket. John says, I feel your pain, brother. Green Bay got me for $3K. Yeah, that Green Bay was ugly if you were on Green Bay. You know what's crazy is somebody asked me earlier in the day, yesterday, what I thought on the game. We weren't on the live chat. We were off. And I loved Tampa Bay. They have actually made me a ton of money this year. There's not another team in the NFL that's made me more money than Tampa Bay as of, you know, so far through before the game started yesterday through 5 weeks. And loved everything, every angle about it. But Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, I decided to take a healthy pass. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, though. How many times do you have that in your life or in a week where you're like, oh, man, I really love that. I mean, I really loved it. I actually really loved it. I actually loved it more than I did the Rams play, which I put 6,500 on. I ended up betting the first half over and the Buccaneers team total in the first half over. So I won a little bit, but not like we coulda, shoulda, woulda. But man, that's the story of your life, right? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Turned left. Instead, you turned right. Alex, good morning. Says, good morning, everyone. Easy money on the Bucs Niners. And, of course, the Braves 1.5. Great winning day. Congrats. Congrats, Brad. Juan, good morning. Jason C says, picking against the Jets has been paying me this year. And I know what happens. The moment I fade the Jets, they actually cover a spread or they win outright. Never seems to, fail me with the Jets. I bet on them, they get murdered. I bet against them, they'll come back, they'll cover the spread. So I've been just staying off of them. If I'm not on them, I'm staying off of them just because I know the moment that I do get off, they'll come back and bite me in the ass. G. Williams says, I don't know why I didn't bet the Bucs. They've actually made me money. I've bet on the Buccaneers in some form or fashion every week. This was the only week that I didn't. Marcus, you would have made double if the Bucs defense would have chilled out. The Bucs defense came to play, let me tell you. The Bucs defense Need a little love from them in the Rams game, that's for sure. Legend, I know they are. I know they are. I need to get on the fade bandwagon because you're missing money on the sidelines of them, right? Andrew says he likes the Chiefs minus the points. And Arizona over tonight. We're going to take a look at that one. The only one that I gave out was an Arizona-Dallas game. That was the only thing we gave out so far. Lux Boss, that is a fact. That is a fact. Oh, Mike Smith says the haters must be pissed that Brady is doing well while the Patriots are struggling. No doubt about that one. No doubt about that one. Hey, Cam Newton got me too. We had the over, and I had him in a teaser. Had him in a teaser. Although the teaser wasn't coming close anyways, regardless of what happened. Yesterday's games, you were either on an easy winner, it seemed, or you were destined for a big loser. It was definitely an interesting day. That's for sure. G. Williams says the Bills are a lock. John Marino, good morning. Says he might look at the Bills to rebound big tonight. Mike Brown says he teased 9 overs, 9-0. Very nice. Congrats. Brandon Foster dropping a little bit of knowledge there. Says I wouldn't say anything's a lock against Kansas City. Lux Boss. That is a little. That is a very good observation. We've definitely moved a line or two in our time. That is for sure. Mike Smith says, I'm from Connecticut and I've been a Pats fan for 25 years. He'd be lying if he didn't admit that he's rooting for Brady and Gronk to kick some ass. I don't know too many people that are. You've got to be a real big hater to not root for Brady and Gronk. Real champ, my teaser, if the Browns could score, yeah, the Eagles plus 17.5, and we get the Browns plus 10.5. That's all. The Browns. Oh my Lord. I gotta admit. We know the Steelers' run defense has always been top notch. Good morning, Karen. I don't think there's any Dodger haters here. There's more Dodger lovers here than Dodger haters. There's a few. Mike Brown, Atlanta, running the bases. Yeah, that was. You don't know if we would have got anybody home on that one. But the pickle going to home and then out going to third. That was some horrible base running. It was definitely some horrible base running. We had Atlanta yesterday, plus 4.5. The Falcons as a premium play. It was a nice one. No, Le'Veon Bell is not playing this week. Brandon, wrong sport. We're talking about the Dodgers in baseball. The Dodger haters, not the Laker and LeBron haters. The Progs, good morning. Matty Ice came to play. That he did. That he did. You know, if you got problems with the coach and the coach is gone, you know those players come out. Will personal plays continue on? Of course. Of course. I'll have personal plays today. Alex, how did I like that home run saved? Well, I'm a Braves fan, so I didn't like it at all. But hey, he earned his $380 million last night. That is for sure. He earned his keep for the Dodgers last night. Dodgers with a monster comeback. You know, I don't contribute the loss, at least in Game 7, to pitching. The Braves pitching went up against the best hitting team in baseball. The best team all season long in baseball. The Braves pitching is what held them in the series. Got them ahead. If you go back, Game 5, there was horrible base running. That probably cost them the game. Same thing in Game 7. And I believe, if I remember correctly, there was a couple bad... Not in Game 6. Game 5 there was. As well as Game 7. You know, not to say that if he doesn't get it in the pickle going home, they end up getting him across, but runners on second and third would have been just one out with runners in scoring position still. Would have been a big difference. So, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I could pick up 2 or 3 instances in each game that they lost where there was some really bad base running. With the exception of the game where they got smoked. With the exception of that game, because that game was over in the first. That game was over in the first. Mookie is definitely Lux, one of the best all-around players in the game. Absolutely. Rich says, true, the bullpen played very well. I just missed the 90s. I know. You know, I still sat on my couch yesterday. I had to pull up the old tomahawk chop music, and I was chopping away. But the chop didn't work yesterday. The chop did not work yesterday, although it didn't work in the 90s either. Jason C. says the Dodgers got lucky. You know, I don't know if I'd call it luck. They did get some great breaks. They made some fantastic plays. But the Braves did it to themselves. Horrible base running. You get on base, I don't care how much you're up against the Dodgers, there's no lead that's safe. There's no lead that's safe against the Dodgers. If you're content being up 5 or 6, 6 runs against the Dodgers, they can and will come back and bite you in the rear. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So having a lead of 1 to 2 runs, that's nothing. That's a walk and one swing of the bat for the Dodgers. That's easy. That is easy. Jay Hughes says the Braves can't finish out the games late. It's not that the Braves can't finish out the games late. You got to remember, the Dodgers were the number 1 team in baseball, outscoring opponents by over 100, and I think it ended up being like 140 runs or 145 runs on a very short season between the 7th and the 8th inning. Just those 2 innings. The Dodgers are outscoring opponents by over 140 runs. That's a pretty impressive stat for late in the game. The Dodgers in the 7th and the 8th inning come to play. It doesn't matter if they're down. It doesn't matter if they're ahead. They don't let up. They're relentless. Every one of those players on the Dodgers can hit. Everybody in the lineup can hit. Mike Smith. I like Greg. I like your message you just sent me on Twitter. That's funny. That's funny. Levi says, Kyle, thanks for that amazing guaranteed Sunday play. You're very welcome. I know you hammered it real well, real big as well. Nick Cruz says the Braves left too many runners on yesterday. Not only did they leave the runners on, just poor base running. Poor base running. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Braves pitchers did all they could do. Minter coming in on short rest after pitching 3 innings. Hasn't done that since college. Greg says this series should be good. Tampa Bay pitching against the Dodgers. The Dodgers hitting. Absolutely. It should be a good series. Did I get any nasty messages after the Rams game? I got a few snide comments or whatever. And by the way, the gentleman that did send me that one message after the Saturday play did apologize. He did apologize. The Dodgers are a minus 190 favorite to win the World Series as of right now. LT, my brother, my thoughts and prayers are with you and your family. I send your mom my regards. And the rest of your family, your wife, kids. Remember, brother, one day, one step ahead, one step in front of the other. William tuning in via text. Thank you, brother. Losses do happen in gambling. Most definitely. Most definitely. And again, LT, my thoughts and prayers with you and your family. I know it'll be a tough day. Yeah, Brandon, for about 10 seconds, but anybody can win 3 in a row and call themselves a professional gambler. But again, I'm not out there watching other people's free play videos, that's for sure. Marcus says the guarantees are great, but the gems and jewels being dropped are just as helpful. Thank you. I appreciate that. Mike Smith, that's one way to look at it. You minimize the damage yesterday with the Sunday NFL play. And excited that you got guaranteed Saturday in the bank next week. Absolutely. How much do I factor in that the Dodgers have played in Arlington for 10 games already? It's a ballpark. I mean, yeah, they've got the... I'll get that frozen screen fixed. Outfield down. They got that one down pat, let me tell you. Mookie knows where to catch it. Other than that, it's a ballpark. This is what these players do. Probably helps them a little bit, but, I'm not going to give any statistical advantage towards them. Jason C. says the Cardinals team total over 27.5 will probably cash by halftime. The GOAT 512 says the Cardinals 21, Cowboys 33. Thank you, LT. Toby says, how much crap did your mom give you after the Dodgers win? She actually, none. We were texting during it, and she said that she was actually rooting for the Braves for me because she won. If they had won, I was going to get me and her tickets, and although my ear infection came back, so I probably wasn't going to go anyways. But we were gonna go to the World Series. So she's seen the Dodgers playing them. I've never seen the Braves play in the World Series, so I was going to take her to the World Series if the Braves won, assuming my ear infection cleared up. But apparently, it decided to do a 180 on me yesterday. And again, break out those ear emojis because I can't hear anything out of my left ear. And yeah, I did. I got what was it? What did she say? I sent her a congrats. I said, congrats, mama. And I got an I'm sorry. Dodgers still crushing my childhood dreams 30-something years later. LT, definitely. Thoughts and prayers, brother. Jalen, a.k.a. 152 Flu, good morning. Pokey Lewis, good morning. Since the Cowgirls are overrated. Real Champ says the Cardinals are overrated as well. He had a Jordan flu game yesterday. Yeah, the ear decided to reverse course on me and come back and get me, that's for sure. So we get 2 games today. We get one early, one late. No, I'm as soon as we get off the live chat, Mike, that's my goal is to try and see if I could find a ear, nose, and throat specialist to get seen at some point today or by tomorrow the latest, because I mean I can't take this. I mean I want to take one of these little Vibe pens for the interactive free play board, and I want to like jab it in and see if I can claw out whatever's going on in my ear. But I know that ain't gonna resolve nothing. Jerry, good morning. John G. Jason C says should be a high scoring, but I'm going Cards team total because I don't trust Dalton in prime time to play well. Big Boy Cap says he can't trust. Oh, that was Chris. Chris says, can't trust Dallas defense. I'm leaning towards Arizona. Big Boy Cap wants to know who do I think's winning tonight? Or maybe you guys. Maybe he doesn't want my opinion. Brad, maybe you have too much. No, they actually checked for all of that. Last case, my eardrum was swollen and pressing on the ear canal or something weird like that. If the Cards score and Andy can't keep up, then we're going to take a look at both of those games. We're going to dive into them. If you're on our premium plays or my personal plays, none of them are out yet. It's a little early in the day. It's a little early in the morning for a Monday. Premium plays will be out a little bit later today after the live chat, I would imagine. The live show will be out a little bit later. We'll wrap them up, and then we'll get everything dialed in. We'll get them out. Same thing with my personal plays. As far as a little early action, if you're taking a look, little live look ahead in the Tampa Bay and the Dodgers series, an early prediction on it. A lot of people out there saying that the Dodgers can't keep up with the Rays pitching. I kind of find it funny that people would say that because there's not a better hitting team in baseball, or at least a better hitting team left than the LA Dodgers. And it don't matter how good doesn't matter how good the Rays pitching will be. There will be no lead that's safe when playing the Dodgers. Don't matter if they get up by 5 runs or 8 runs or they're up by 2 runs. My early prediction, and you guys know me, I'm not sour about the Dodgers beating my Braves. Okay, maybe a little. They crushed my dreams again. But in reality, I don't see the Dodgers losing the World Series. Minus $1.90 is kind of where I thought it would be. And then it would come down a little, but it opened up a little higher. It opened up at, I think, 210, and it's down to 190. Obviously, overreaction. I think there'll be some big, depending on who they announce for starting pitchers for Game 1, will determine some odds for the actual individual games. But as far as the series go, Levi Taylor says Snow will get hammered. I absolutely agree. Jalen says the Dodgers sweep the series. I think the Rays will be competitive in one of the games. The only difference in this series Sawyer Taro, you're very welcome. Thank you for jumping on board the combo pack. Premium plays will be out in a little bit. My personal plays, I'll be texting to you. And again, I appreciate the follow-up email that you sent me yesterday. Glad to have you on board. Absolutely glad to have you on board. Thanks for jumping on board the combo package. There's no better day to start it than a Monday. There may only be 2 games on the board today, but you guys know me. Light days, I find a lot of avenues that most people overlook. Brad says the Kershaw curse, maybe. You know, I think there's a certain type of hitting team that hits Kershaw well, and I don't think the Rays match up against it. When you get a big power hitting team, that's generally the types of teams that are capable to hit Kershaw. Travis says, I love when everyone counts the Rays out. It seems to always go the other way. I'm definitely not counting them out. I think it'll be a competitive series. I think the Dodgers just have enough in the end to pull it out. I think the Dodgers have enough in the end to pull it out. Marcus said the Braves played in the World Series last night, right? It was the two best teams left in baseball, no doubt about it. John G says the curse is done. The curse will still be there next year in the world or in the playoffs. The curse will still be there. How about Jansen not coming in to close out the game yesterday? Toby, that's a good idea. I will definitely look into that. John G says it's LA's year, like all that LA has been through. You know, I don't really put too much hype behind that. Says Big King says less pressure on the Rays. Think they win it. I don't know if there's less pressure on the Rays. You're in the World Series. You know what I mean? You're in the World Series, and the Rays are not a team. Okay, we made it. We got less pressure. Same thing with the Dodgers. Now, if the Rays manager loses to the Dodgers in the World Series, he's obviously going to probably have a job next year. Now, if the Dodgers lose, Roberts is out. He's gone. They can't close it out for the third time in 4 years, then he'll be out of LA. Mike Brown says, Kyle, you said it from the very beginning about baseball being about streaks and momentum. I think the LA Dodgers are rolling and Tampa Bay is in trouble. Morton is a monster, though, so LA Dodgers in 5. I think it goes 5 or 6 games. Personally, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I hope it goes 7. I hope it goes 7 because that gives us about 9 days to talk about baseball. It gives us 9 days to talk about baseball. So personally, I hope it goes 7 games. I was reading Trevor Bauer gave his prediction, said the Rays in 7. And he broke it down. Power Dodgers, defense, both of them was a push. Heart and tenacity was the Rays. Pitching, he leaned towards the Rays. And said the Rays in 7. I hope it goes 7. I hope it goes 7, and for my mother's sake, the Dodgers finally win. Finally win, so my family in LA can finally quiet down. Marcus says Lakers versus Heat, basically. Chris says it would be fun if it went to 7 and more betting opportunities, but I think 4-1 LA. You know, I'm right there with you. I think it goes 5, 6 games. But I'm rooting for 7. I'm rooting for a 7-game series. I hope we get a talk. You know, it sucks that baseball was such a short season. I love betting on baseball. Absolutely love betting on baseball. Make a ton of money betting baseball. Do we do hockey? We do hockey, absolutely. Absolutely, we do hockey. I will be betting the series. Just letting everybody know. I will be betting the series. I don't mind betting a futures bet when there's only a week or 2 out. I'm not a big futures better. I'm not a big futures bettor, but I will be betting the Dodgers. I'm going to wait and see closer to tomorrow if it moves at all. If it goes up, I'll hammer it. There's too big of a variance. Dodgers to win the series minus 190. The Rays to win the series plus 165. You know, Greg, I was thinking the same thing. You know, we got the smoke from that, whatever fire it was up by Crown King. And we're out by the lake. And, you know, new community, dirt lot, people digging up pools and stuff like that. So definitely could be allergies contributing to the already ear infection that I had. No doubt about it. Jason C says, I'm too impatient for future bets. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I am right there with you. But just because I take the Dodgers to win the World Series minus $1.90, and I'm not betting it right now. I'm waiting. I'm hoping that the series will drop. I'm hoping that the price will drop a little bit. I'm hoping that it'll drop a tad bit. If it does, I'll throw it in there. But just because I'm betting on the Dodgers series doesn't mean that I won't be taking the Rays in certain spots, or the Rays plus 1.5, or whatever the case may be. Because you got to remember, the Dodgers will probably be a minus 170 to minus 220 favorite in every single game. You know, even if it's Snell versus Buehler, the Dodgers are still going to be a big... You're going to have to lay the juice. The books are going to have a lot of action on the Dodgers side, and hoping for the best from the Rays. Tony Trader dropping a lot of incorrect facts. Says sports betting equals the only bookie. Only the bookie ever makes any money. You're incorrect. And if that's the case, why are you here? Randy G, yeah, all the games are at Globe Life. Ruben, good morning. Chris says he thinks the NBA is the hardest. Somebody asked, what do I think is the hardest? The Tijuana Turtles are definitely the hardest to handicap. Them suckers are so slow. You just don't ever know who's going to get that jump out of the gate. Levi, how big will the bet be that for the Dodgers to win the World Series? I don't know yet. I don't know. Be a decent one. Be a decent size one. But, you know, I don't even like putting money out there and having to wait 5 days or 9 days for it. But, hey, it's not that big of a deal when you get down to the World Series. Jerome Carr says, good morning from Flint, Michigan. Good morning. Corlin says he bet the Rays. I wish you the best of luck. Ruben says, Pepe Turtle number 2 always screws me, right? Turtle number 2 down in TJ, the Tijuana Turtles. If you're betting on Pepe Turtle number 2, you're usually getting your ass handed to you. But boy, does he pay when he finishes first. It's if he finishes, right? People have no clue what we're talking about, the Tijuana Turtles. If you guys have ever been down to Adelitas in Mexico, you know there ain't no Tijuana Turtles. Justin's due, so just subscribe. Thank you, sir. If you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button. We go live breaking down the sports action and the betting action of the day 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, we go live at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Saturdays and Sundays, we go live a little too early in the morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time for us West Coasters at 6 a.m. It's a little too early on the weekends. Bo King, you didn't miss anything on Saturdays, that's for sure. Sundays you did. The Sunday one, they continuously seem to bring us the money. They continuously bring us the money. As far as the hardest, you know, it's only hard if you don't understand it or you don't have the knowledge or the access to the information. Other than that, you just have to decipher what to use that information for. Jonathan, good morning. Jay Gonzalez, yep. Sunday NFL guarantee is 6-0. Harris says, aloha from Hawaii. We're open to visitors. You guys are finally open to visitors? Very nice. Very nice. I said, I seen we had somebody tuning in from France. Thank you, sir. Thanks for tuning in. A lot of internationals. France, a couple in the Philippines, Taiwan. Handful down in Mexico. Anthony says, hit the thumbs up. 292 watching, only 34 thumbs ups. We definitely appreciate it when you hit the thumbs up button. It's about the only thing that we ask is that you do. Help us out. Hit the thumbs up button. Help get our video trending on YouTube and in the right direction. Brandon, any live wager videos in the future? Possibly. Possibly. It's actually very hard to run the live wager, to do the show with the live wagers, because it's something that I have to be able to pay attention to what's going on the field or the court or whatever it may be. And paying attention in the chat and trying to do what I normally do doesn't usually work for a live wager show. I try and show them off betting on the Vibe Interactive board, and I miss the bets because it, you know, sometimes you got to be quick with them. Legend says, the Cowboys and the Cardinals under 55, very heavy dose of Zeke tonight. I kind of like that. Jason C. says it would be difficult to do a live wager show for sure. We did. We did a couple episodes. We were successful doing it. We were successful doing it. We were actually up on the free, the free plays that and the live bets that we made. But it is. D. Wade says, I need a worthy sidekick. I do. I do. Problem is I don't like too many people. Just kidding. I like everybody. I like everybody. You know, Brandon, it's not about doing just vocals. I like to actually show what I'm doing because there's a big difference. Anybody could just put me on camera and let me watch the games and say what I'm taking. But anybody can do that. Anybody could just say, hey, I'm taking the Cardinals tonight and I'm going to put $10,000 on it. Or I'm taking the Cardinals tonight and I'm going to put $1,000 on it. Anybody can do that. But not anybody can actually just show a copy of their ticket and do it live. I don't know another sports service that will log into their account live and actually bet live. I mean, I showed off a $6,500 ticket yesterday. Granted, it was a loser, but we still showed it off. Speaking of that, here's my Sunday night football loser for everybody. I don't mind showing off a loser. There's the big Sunday night football loser. Give everybody a chance to see that one. It was at Bet Online. So there was that one. And I don't mind showing off a loser. I think it's very important to show off a loser. It shows that you're real. Because, I mean, let's be honest. nobody wins 100%. All right? And I don't know another service out there that one shows tickets, I don't know another service that will log into their betting account, mirror the screen so you guys can see my computer, and let me log in and actually bet it while you guys are actually watching. Not just listening, but actually seeing me do it. So, in order for me to do a show, I need to do it the right way. In order for me to do a show, I want to do it the only way that I know how. And that's actually by showing, not just talking. I mean, hell, anybody can get on Twitter or YouTube, create videos or do a live stream and say, hey, I'm going to take this. Hey, guys, I'm going to take the Cowboys. Now, if I say it, you guys are going to believe me because I show you guys tickets all the time. CR Fantasy Dream 11. I'm from India. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in all the way from India. Absolutely awesome. But if I can't do it up to the Cappers Nation standards, the standards that I've set, then I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Then I don't want to do it. That's for sure. So, will we have a live wager show again? Yeah, we will. We will. We will. Do I know when? Don't know when. Maybe when there's more sports going on, when there's more than just 8 games on a Saturday or 8 games on a Sunday. Harris says, thank you for being real. I like your style. You know, and that's the way that I roll. You know, if I can't show you guys that what we're doing is truth and what we're really doing. So if I say take this or take that, then I wouldn't want to do it. Drew to the crew coming in. The man who never loses a game. Unless it's when he doesn't show up the next day after dropping a game in the chat. Good morning, Drew to the crew. Thanks for joining us. Marcus says, everyone go hit the thumbs up. We definitely appreciate it when you do. When you do hit the thumbs up, helps get our video trending on YouTube. The bigger we make this, the more fun I get to make it for you guys in the long run. The more things I get to give back to you guys. Chris says, North Carolina screwed me out of 5K at a bunch of teasers in a parlay and won everything else. I hear you there, brother. Rams yesterday on the money line. That was an 11-5 swing. Unfortunately, you know, you dropped 6,500 on it. Justin's due. Just to be curious, what's your suggestion on Arizona? Well, we're going to break down that game. We're going to break it down in its entirety. I did put out a daily free play on it already in our daily free play video. But I will break down the game in its entirety. We're going to break down both games, actually. We're going to break down the early game and the late game. For everybody that is new and tuning in, just because we break down the games doesn't mean I'm just going to go down the list and just read off the list of what we're playing that day. I don't give out free plays on every single game, side, total, first half, second half, this and that. That's not the way that we work. But I will definitely break down the games for you. We put you guys on quality free plays that win definitely long term. For everybody to know, full disclaimer, not 100%. I don't think there anybody is, or that anybody out there is. Excuse me. And anybody that says that they are, they're absolutely full of shit, that's for sure. But what you will get out of me is solid analysis, unbiased opinions, and a look and an analysis from somebody that actually bets the games. See, there's a big difference between what you find here on Cappers Nation Live and then other places. You get a bettor's perspective here. Trust me, people have sent me links to other shows. There's other shows, that go on at the same time as us. There's other shows, all over the place on YouTube, on Twitter, here, there. And, I've popped into some of them and just to see, because, it's definitely good to see what else is out there and how we can improve. And I've seen, there's shows out there that get 30 when we're getting 320. And they say, oh, I'm betting this. I don't ever see them show a ticket. I don't ever see them actually lock in a wager. There's another show that draws actually a lot of people. Or the guys over at SBR, they get a lot of viewership. I'm taking this. I'm taking that. Oh, I'm betting this over at, Bet Online. I'm betting this over here at Bookmaker. But they don't ever show a ticket. So how do you know that they're actually real? You don't. Because if they were real, and I don't care if they were betting just $20, they'd probably show you a ticket. They'd probably show you a ticket. If it was a big ticket, they would definitely brag about it. Now, when I show a big ticket, I'm not bragging about it. I'm not bragging. There's no bragging when it comes to losing or winning. It's showing you guys that we're real. And that's what you get here. You get a perspective from somebody that's actually betting the games. That's the difference. That's the winning difference. Because anybody can go out and make predictions and say, I'm betting on this with zero stress, zero anxiety, zero anything behind it because they don't have a dollar on it. But when you have a bettor's mentality and you actually have money on the game, then your analysis will be way different. Marcus says people on TV too, no doubt about that one. And I got news for you. Funny, I seen a clip yesterday. I didn't watch the pregame for the Rams, but if I did, I probably would have switched my bet because everybody other than Tony was on the Rams yesterday. And if I would have seen it all lit up by blue, I probably would have went the other way. Jason C says, to be honest, I'd say 80% of these shows don't bet. I'd probably have to say it's a lot higher than that. I'd probably have to say it's probably like 99%. And if they do bet, it's an occasional bet. People out there asking for donations so that they can go bet. That's not a bettor, all right? That's not a bettor. Somebody that does this for a living, that's not that. That's for sure. Chicken Sauce says the Rams screwed you with an F. Yeah, I hear you there. But yeah, Jason, the percentage has to be much higher than that. Scott, they want to say, in general, showing a loser, most people think is actually bad for business. I don't think so. I think it's the exact opposite. Showing big losing tickets. I would rather show you that than a big winning ticket. I'd rather show you my losing ticket for $6,500 than show you what I had on the Sunday NFL play. Fantastic, Stat-Guap. Respect whoever you want. Appreciate it if you're not promoting another show in our show, though. But again, I'd ask to see tickets. And when you start adding up people's records that they post at the end of the year and they're always negative, I don't know how you can say somebody's good. Might have a good live show, but when it comes to money in your pocket, it's a whole different story. Jason C says, I haven't watched the show much, but for showing that ticket, I'll watch from now on. I appreciate that. You know, that's one thing that we will always do. We always keep it real with you guys. So without further ado, I say we break down some games. And as far as respecting other people on Twitter or YouTube, if they're in the sports betting industry and they're not showing tickets, let's be honest, what is there to respect? Because they get paid to go make videos. But if they actually trusted their work that much, they'd actually bet it. David Harris, I appreciate that, brother. And you have been with me off and on for years. And you know what's crazy? You can have a disagreement with a client, but we can still work it out. We can still break bread together consistently. Marcus says, I bet the over on the Chiefs-Bills game not knowing it was a Monday game. Rich says, hey, leave Canada alone. I got a lot of clients and friends up in Canada. But yeah, you know, if at least, I mean, that's my opinion, and you guys know. I mean, here's the thing about opinions, all right? You guys could have your opinion. I can have mine. They don't ever have to be the same, because opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. And you know what? Everybody's entitled to their opinion. My opinion is if you're in the sports betting world advising people who to bet on, you should have some skin in the game. And if you actually have skin in the game, you should show it, at least on a consistent basis. And not just the winners. Too many people out there that can talk about the winners, and never talk about the losers. B. Shep said, I wish you in Vegas, Dave. That probably wouldn't go over so swell for me. Big difference between what we do. Chicken Sauce says, I like the Cards, but I feel the Chiefs are the bet or a big, big trap. Remember, everybody thought the Ravens were the bet when they faced the Chiefs as well. We're going to break down both games. We're going to start with that game first. We're going to do the early game, then we're going to do the late game. Remember, guys, we got a game at 5 p.m. on the East Coast, 2 on the West Coast. John, what's my take on teasers? I think they have a place. I'm not a huge fan of them, but I definitely think they have a valid place. Do I give them out or do I bet them? I bet them from time to time. Not a big teaser guy, though. I had one yesterday. The Browns killed it. I had the Browns plus 10.5, which... Well, let me go over the teaser first. I had the Browns plus 10.5 and the Eagles plus 17.5. Eagles was money at plus 17.5. The Browns plus 10.5. I'll be the first to admit when I make a mistake, and I gave the Browns way too much credit, and the Steelers not enough. Didn't give the Steelers enough credit yesterday, and credit is owed where credit is due, and let me tell you, they took care of business yesterday. Browns definitely killed a teaser for me yesterday. Killed a big teaser. Absolutely. Yeah, Anthony, I agree. The Jets coach, Adam Gase, needs to go. What they're holding on to him for, I have no clue. But all right, so what we're going to do, folks, we're going to break down the Chiefs and the Bills, which at one point this last week was only a 3-point swing in either direction. D-Wade, do I think Buffalo took it easy last game to gear up for Kansas City tonight? No, I don't. These are NFL professional athletes. They're not taking it easy and getting their ass handed to them so that way they can come out and be competitive against the Chiefs. Because either way, you're still taking hits, you're still taking shots, you're still getting sacked, and it still hurts no matter what. No matter if you take it easy or not. Last week, the Bills got outplayed by the Titans, and that was the first time I bet against the Titans all year long and actually bet on the Bills. But no, I don't think that they took it easy and donked off a game. They had a perfect record last week. They were 4-0. 4-0 before getting murdered by the Titans. So no, I don't think that they took it easy. I think they just ran into a really well-rested and well-prepared Titans team. Give me 1 second, folks. LT just sent me a text message. He's at the funeral for his father. So we're going to go over both games. We'll go over both games in depth, and we'll see what we come up with. Now, I do have a daily free play out on the second game already out. My opinion has not changed. Lux Boss made a very valid point that when we did give out the Cowboys on the money line yesterday, didn't take very long after that for that line to shift from a pick'em to the Cowboys laying 1. I think there'll be some more Cowboys money coming in. I'm sure that one will be much different than 1 when kickoff comes. Joseph Browning says the Chiefs pound them tonight 35-18. And again, going to pull up all our live odds. Going to pull up everything on this one, actually. That way we can give you guys the best breakdown possible. We're going to take a look at where the money's at. And let me give the full disclaimer about the money part. When we go over where the money is at, people betting the over, people betting the under, etc., etc., etc. When we go over that information, I will never base where the money's at and use that to where I'm betting. Where the money's at will never dictate where I'm betting. If I like the Chiefs, if I do, let's just say we do this breakdown real quick. And when we do the breakdown, obviously you got to figure where the number should be at and what you think the Chiefs should win by, etc., etc., etc. That's if you're on the Chiefs, or vice versa for the Bills. And let's just say when you get done with your math, and you get done with your analysis, you get done with your entire breakdown, and you got it circled that you like the Chiefs and you like them anywhere from 3 to 9 points, or 3 to 7 points, whatever the case, 5 to 7 point, as a favorite where they should be. And you look and you see them laying 3 earlier in the week or laying 5, but then you look at the money aspect and you see 85% of every bet coming in is on the Chiefs. There's people out there that say, oh, the public is on the Chiefs. I think I'm going to take the Bills. Or, oh, the money's on the under. I think I'm going to take the over. Vice versa. I take that information and I will never use it to determine where I'm betting. That information is valuable, but it's valuable. It's valuable in the aspect of when to bet. I use that information to determine when to bet. So for instance, if you're on Buffalo tonight, okay? If you're on Buffalo tonight, first of all, when the odds first came out for this game, Let's talk about where they started, where they're at currently, and where the money's at. When the line came out for this game, you were able to find the Chiefs as low as 3. I mean, it quickly went to 3.5 and then 5. Total opened up 57.5. And when you start taking a look at where it's at now, Chiefs are laying 5.5 minus $1.10. They were 5 last night. They're 5.5 now. Okay. Total is at 55.5. So the total came down. Line on the Chiefs jumped at least a full 2 points, no matter where you're looking. 10 Debunking says it's raining in Buffalo today. So when you start and you know that the line is 5.5 and it started out at 3.5, your general assumption will be like, oh, everybody in the world is on the Chiefs. Everybody in the world is on the Chiefs. It's not always the case. Sometimes there'll be a reverse line movement where Vegas moves the number even though the money's coming in on one side. There's no stipulation. There's no stipulation that Vegas has to move the line according to where the money's coming in at. Vegas plays by their own rules. But in this case of this game, 85% of the money coming in against the spread is on the Chiefs laying the points. Just 15% of the money coming in is on Buffalo. Now, those are great numbers for fading the public if that's what you want to do. But I don't use that information to determine where I'm betting. Okay? But I will use that to determine if I'm betting the Chiefs, when I will bet it. For instance, if everybody is betting the Chiefs and that number is 85%, and the book keeps rapidly moving that line from 3 to 3.5 to 4 to 5 to 5.5 to 6 to 6.5 to 7. If that's the case, then you better bet sooner rather than later. Use that information knowing that. Same thing with the total. If you knew that 65% were on the total and that total was still dropping, would you bet it? Or maybe it was 75% yesterday. When you wake up this morning, it's down to 65%, and that's why we see the total drop. Or did the total drop because of the rain? Or was it because of the money that's coming in on the under? The money is coming in on the under even though it's still 65-35 to the over. That number is coming down. So knowing where the money's at, the money's on the Chiefs and the over as of right now. However, the under money is coming in, and that's why we're seeing the drop. As far as the breakdown, let's get into the nitty-gritty. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We go live 7 days a week. There's no football tomorrow, but we will be live discussing the World Series. Oh, we get some AFC heavyweights today, folks. 4-1 is what Kansas City is. 3-2 against the spread. 2-3 to the over, which means 2 games have gone over the total. 3 have gone under. Buffalo is 4-1 against the spread. 3-2 to the over. 4-0-1 to the over. They have not had a game go under the total this year. Can this be the game that goes over? We're going to go over it all. Interesting side note. The total is 55.5. The weather in Buffalo. The weather in Buffalo is calling for rain. As far as game time in this one, this is an early game. 5 p.m. on the East Coast, 2 on the West Coast. All right? As far as game time weather, because obviously what's happening now definitely will affect a field later on. Drew the Crew says there's too much money on the Cowboys. I would disagree. I think it's like 60-40. There's not that much money on the Cowboys. We'll go over that game later. But it is supposed to rain, and they're supposed to have 8 to 9 mile an hour northeast winds all day long. But there is between the 4 o'clock hour where the rain should let up. But other than that, it should be raining. They have showers as well planned for later in the day as well. Now, full disclaimer, just because it's going to be a sloppy slop fest doesn't mean it's an insta under bet. It doesn't mean it's an insta under bet. Remember that. Does it create turnovers? It does. However, those gloves that they use are so damn sticky. Can it create more turnovers? Yes, and it probably does. It's just a matter of where those turnovers happen. If a turnover happens deep in the Kansas City zone, chances are Buffalo's going to put some points up on the board because of it. No different than if it was happening Buffalo's zone, deep in their own zone. Kansas City put up some points. But if they're driving down and they fumble or they turn the ball over because of slop or rain in the end zone or in the red zone, it's just flipping the field of possession. Dan, on the spread, it's 85-15. And on the money line, it's 88-12. Now, keep in mind, not one Buffalo game has gone under the total, but could this be it? Now, these two teams did face off a couple of years ago, but take that information and throw that shit right out the window. All right? If there's anybody out there that are trying to tell you the road teams are 7-2 against the spread and the Kansas City and Buffalo head-to-head series, or Buffalo beat them in a very low-scoring game last time, the total's under 3 out of the last 5 meetings, take that shit and just throw it out the door. All right? Just throw it right out the window. Don't worry, we got mini footballs for days here. So take that and just throw that shit right out the window, because none of that matters today. None of that matters today. Buffalo 4-11 against the spread against opportunistic teams with a turnover differential of better than plus 0.65. Kansas City plus 5 on the turnovers through 4 games. Buffalo -2 on the turnovers through 4 games. Jason C says, LOL stats from 3 years ago. Love those guys. Not exactly. What's funny is there'll be people out there who'll be like, oh, the last 5 games, only 2 have gone over. It's an under insta-lock. And when you start looking at it, and you're like, well, damn. Those 5 games stretch from 2012 to 2017. Like, kiss my ass. They make no difference. They have zero benefit. So definitely remember that one when somebody tries to tell you that the road teams are 7-2 against the spread in this series, all right? Now, Buffalo is 9-1 in their last 10 games as an underdog. Buffalo hit 90% in their last 10 games as an underdog. All right, so let's take a look recently. What's happened with both teams? Obviously, both teams coming off their only losses of the season. Somebody here, 5th game of the season. Somebody here, because I did say 4 games, it's 5 games. Somebody here is going to have a second loss, unless they somehow magically tie, which chances are slim to none. Jim says, wind is as bad as rain, wet ball, wind. Oh, yeah, I see the ball moving on the ground at least more than 50%. I see Mahomes, 2 interceptions. Can wind be a factor? Yes, it could be a helper as well. And it all depends on the layout of the field. Because just remember, when they take those wind reports, it's usually not down at the field level. So while it may be 9 to 10 outside, it may be nothing on the inside. Although there are some stadiums out there where it swirls around and swirls in, that will definitely be a factor. That can be, no doubt about it. I said your name right. Good shit. Well, I'm not going to try and say it again. Tanit Pong. I usually butcher everybody's name. Let me go over the UFC fighters. I will absolutely murder their names. Absolutely murder their names. I'm glad to know I got one hard one right today. We're doing something right on a Monday. Now, both teams coming off their loss. Let's start with the Bills. They got slaughtered. They got slaughtered by the Titans. We got slaughtered. That was the first time, I have to admit, okay? I have to admit, I was so wrong about the Buffalo and the Tennessee Titans game that I'm still a little pissed off about it. But don't worry. It's not going to affect what we do today. I had been riding the Titans, the money line. Titans, 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 Titans. All season long until their last game. Bills got slaughtered 42-16. Oh, you know that rock-solid defense by the Bills. The ones that only give up 109 yards on the ground, 263 in the air. They got torched by the Titans. No, they were not taking it easy because they had Kansas City this week. That's like saying that they're going to take it easy in their next game next week against the Jets because they get the Patriots after that. Or they're going to take it easy against the Patriots because they get Seattle after that. Bob Culprit, Rodgers likes to blame things on everybody other than himself. You're an NFL quarterback. The wind. What if you're a kicker? The wind. You know? Derrick Henry is a tank in human form that he is. So, obviously the Bills, coming off a disaster of a loss before that, they did beat Vegas 30-23, which is the team that beat Kansas City 40-32. We'll go over that here in just a minute. Before that, they had a very close victory over the Rams, 35-32, which, guys, we all know the Bills got bailed out by the refs against the Rams late in that game by throwing that pass interference. And I'm still pissed off about that one as well, because that killed our bet on the Rams. They won 31-28 over the Dolphins, and they beat the Jets 27-17. When it comes to Kansas City, first of all, you can say what you want about who's the best team in the NFL. But until people start knocking Kansas City off their plateau, the Raiders did a good job of that. There's not many teams that will keep up and compete with Kansas City long term. Kansas City may have a bad game. Their defense may not show up. Patrick Mahomes is human, just like you guys or just like me. Humans are going to have a bad game from time to time. This is the NFL, and let's be honest, the Jets will probably win a game this year. That tells you all that you need to know about professional sports. The fact that the Bills used to absolutely be in the Jets spot just a couple years ago. And the Bills would still manage to be a 17-point dog, a 14-point dog, and they would still somehow manage to win a game in the season. So just remember that. Even the shitty teams can win on any given day. Because it's the NFL. Rich says the Raiders are a young, fast defense. With Gruden, they'll be dangerous in 2 to 3 years. You know, I do agree. I do agree. So just remember that. Any team in the NFL can win on any given Sunday, or as far as this day goes, as Monday. How do you not score a point against the Dolphins, right? Taking a look at Kansas City. Let's start out at week 1. They beat the they beat the Texans 34-20. They beat the Chargers in a very close game, 23-20. And let me tell you, after the Chargers game, everybody was writing off the Chiefs because they didn't cover the 9 points they were laying. They almost got beat in that game. Yes, they did. But you know what? They were down big at the half. There's no denying that Andy Reid's one of the best coaches in the NFL right now. The thing that I like about Andy Reid and his Kansas City Chiefs is he will generally, at the half, be able to go into the locker room, make the necessary corrections, get his players back on the field, keep them in the game, and keep his team competitive. And let his stars shine and do their thing. Be it a come-from-behind victory, whatever the case may be. The game against the Chargers is always close, first of all. The game against the Chargers is always a close battle. Kind of like when Kansas City plays Oakland. Well, the Raiders now. Back in the day, even when I was a kid growing up, it would always be a close game. But everybody wrote off Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs after that Chargers game. You guys remember during the live wager show, we bet the snot out of the Chiefs live that day. Money line for minus $1.20. Money line for $1.70. Money line at plus money at one point. Everybody wrote them off. Then they came up against the Ravens. And all we heard from not just you guys in the live chat, but all over ESPN, Fox Sports, CBS, radio, Sirius Satellite, here, there. It didn't matter what it was. Lamar this, Lamar that. The former MVP going up against the Super Bowl MVP. Lamar. All hail Lamar and the Ravens. That's all we heard. Except for from me. And you guys thought I was absolutely flipping crazy by giving out Kansas City in that game. And lo and behold, what happened? Kansas City got the job done in convincing fashion and made Lamar look like a second-rate quarterback. Is Lamar a good quarterback? He is. Lamar is a good quarterback. Is he a game changer? He is a game changer for some teams, yes. Is he, or was he the MVP of the league? Yes, he was. In my opinion, I don't think he's an elite quarterback. Now, maybe if the Ravens built their program and they were a team that could play from behind. Now, maybe he will be an elite quarterback in years to come. When the pressure is on the line, he chokes religiously. The Ravens can't play from behind, and that may be just a Harbaugh and a Ravens thing. But when they're down, it doesn't work. But to put Lamar Jackson in the same category as Patrick Mahomes, say that they're both up here, well, they're both about here when it comes to age and youth. All right? That's about it. That's about it. Absurd said Lamar's a running back who can throw. Agree. Jason C says Lamar won't be elite until he can prove he can throw outside the numbers. Agree. 100% agree. But everybody, Drew the Cruz says Lamar isn't as good as a passer as we all thought he was. Jay Gonzalez doesn't like the comment about Lamar being a running back who can throw the ball. I agree with that, and not to insult him, but he's a great runner, no doubt about it, and he's a great quarterback. Definitely not their perfect rotation. Do I think Josh Allen will be better than Lamar in the near future? I think he already is. I think Josh Allen is already a better quarterback than Lamar. I think he's already a better quarterback than Lamar. But again, we can get off the Lamar debate because he don't matter today because he's not playing. I'm just using it for reference. Everybody counted out the Chiefs. It was Lamar and the Ravens, Lamar and the Ravens, Lamar and the Ravens, Lamar and the Ravens, Lamar and the Ravens. It didn't matter. It was coming from our live chat. It didn't matter if it was coming from ESPN. It didn't matter if it was coming from Fox Sports. Everybody was on Lamar and the Ravens, except we took Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. We all knew what happened there. Against New England, what happened? Cam and New England are going to beat the Chiefs. Cam and New England are going to beat the Chiefs. No, that didn't happen either. That didn't happen either. For which game? For the Chiefs game? Because that game happens in the afternoon. Our time, 5 on the East Coast. There'll be rain. There'll be showers. It's like 45. It ranges anywhere from after 2 p.m., which is at 95% chance of rain. It goes from 70 down to 25, back up to 65% chance of rain. So there'll probably be rain. Chiefs manhandled, got the job done against the Patriots 26-10. But then last game out last week, old Raiders, which always play the Chiefs tough. They got the best of them. They beat them 40-32 in a shootout. John says it's heavy rain right now in Syracuse. Yeah, it's supposed to lighten up, and then it'll go away or clear up for just a tad bit, and then it comes right back, according to the weather. But again, guys, I used to fish professionally and travel fishing a lot. And one thing that you know, you can never trust weather.com. That's for sure. But yeah, it's calling for rain, and it should be rain and sloppy, that's for sure. Jason C., I agree. Team versus team matchup. How does one defend the run versus how does one run? How does one defend the pass as well as how does one pass? We're going to go over all of that. But we're just going over what the teams have done recently. As far as point scoring go, very similar when it comes to the scoreboard. Kansas City averaging 29.8 points per game. 27.8 for Buffalo. Buffalo averaging just 2 points a game less. And if you guys notice, before I even break this down, Michael Cotton made a good point that said Kansas City's defense will show up tonight. In a game with big marquee matchups against Baltimore, who they held at 20, and against New England, who they held at 10. Big primetime spots. They sure as hell have shown up on defense. Mike, it's going to be a great week for college football. Absolutely. So as far as Kansas City goes, averaging 119 yards on the ground. That number will probably go up starting next week after Le'Veon Bell joins the team. For everybody that's been living under a rock, Le'Veon Bell signs with the defending Super Bowl champs. He is not playing tonight. He is not playing tonight. But he will be playing next week. Supposed to be playing next week. All right, so 119 on the ground, 4.5 yards per carry. That's only going to get better in the weeks to come. They're averaging 288 yards in the air, 7.5 yards per passing attempt. Buffalo, on the other hand, they're averaging 94 yards on the ground, 308 in the air. Oh, we're going to see a matchup today. I actually wish it was going to be nice weather so we can see a quarterback duel between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. And we still might today. When it comes to the defensive side of things, one's given up a little over 4 touchdowns and the other's given up just a tad bit over 3. All right, Buffalo giving up 28.4 points per game, just a hair over 4 touchdowns a game to opposing offenses, like the Jets, who they gave up 17 to, like the Dolphins, who they gave up 28 to, like the Raiders, who they gave up 32, the Titans, who slaughtered them, and they gave up 42 points to. Thank you. I'll get that screen fixed. I appreciate that. The Bills are giving up 109 yards rushing a game, 4.3 yards per carry. Kansas City wants to run the ball. There will definitely be opportunities to run the ball against the Bills' defense. Plant-based Junkie says defense will be a huge factor, is who wins. The Bills on defense give up 263 in the air, 7.1 yards per passing attempt, and they're -2 on turnovers. That number I don't like through 5 games, -2 on turnovers. They have not had a game go under as of yet. When it comes to Kansas City's defense, there is one thing that stands out, and then there is one thing that I do not like. However, they showed that they could stop the run against Baltimore. Yes, perfect rotation. Bell is not active for the game. And Rich is well asking. Bell is not playing today. The one thing that I don't like about Kansas City, first of all, I do like the fact that they're only giving up 22 points a game. That's against the likes of Deshaun Watson and the Texans. They gave up 22. They gave up 20 to the Chargers in a very close win. They gave up 20 to the Ravens. They gave up 10 to the Patriots. But they just gave up 40 to John Gruden and his Raiders, who slaughtered them. They put up 40 points on them. In that game, they ran for 144 yards, the Raiders, that is. Derek Carr shredded them for 346. Piss off Derek Carr and he's going to drop a bomb on you. The fact that Kansas City got outrushed 144 to 80 yards is definitely not a good thing. Now, it's not like they were down very big going into the second half. It was 24-24. It was tied up at the half. They got outbeat in the fourth quarter where they got outscored 16-8. The Chiefs' defense couldn't stop the run. They gave up 144 rushing yards. Was it turnovers? Did turnovers plague them? They didn't fumble the ball. Mahomes did throw an interception, but so did Carr. It was a divisional game, Raiders and the Chargers. Absolutely. Each and every year it is. Anthony says, best bet Patrick Mahomes runs for 30 yards or more. I don't know about that one. We'll find out. As far as third down efficiency, Kansas City was pretty flat in their last game. They went 6 of 14 on third downs. They definitely protected Patrick Mahomes. He was limited to just 1 sack. As far as what we get today, the one thing that I don't like is the rushing yardage that Kansas City's been giving up. I don't like it. Devin Singletary, the running back for the Bills, he really hasn't had a breakout game yet. Fernando says Arizona upsets Dallas tonight. Well, I don't know when you're a pick'em how you could really upset a team when you guys are when you're not an underdog. But we'll go over that game next. You know, in the last game, Singletary against the Titans, but when you're getting blown out, you're not running the ball. He had 11 rushes for 25 yards. The Bills are going to need their running backs to be on their game. Josh Allen is their number 2 running back behind Singletary, who's only got 238 yards on the year. He does average 3.9 yards per carry when they hand it off to Singletary. Nathan says, don't remember the last time the Chiefs lost 2 in a row. It's been a while. Yeah, Drew to the crew, I know. We gave out the Cowboys and the line moved to +1 very shortly after. But again, if you're a 1-point dog, I don't know how, it's not considered an upset. You're a 1-point dog, that's not considered an upset. That's pretty evenly matched if you ask me. Oh, the Sharps. The people with a self-imposed title. The Sharps. The Sharps. You gotta love the people with a self-imposed title of the Sharps. The line actually opened up Arizona +2.5. But again, we'll talk about that game when we're done with this one. In order for Buffalo to be successful, they're going to definitely have to establish the run. And Kansas City has allowed teams to do that. That's the one thing about Kansas City I don't like, is they've given up some big yards on the ground. They're giving up 158 yards a game on average, 5 yards a carry. I haven't seen what the Devin Singletary prop is, but I'd probably look at it. I'd probably definitely look at it. And I'm not a big prop better at all. But if the Bills want to have a chance today and they want to beat the defending Super Bowl champs, they're going to have to establish the run. They're going to need Devin Singletary to get the ball 25, 30 times. That they're going to have to. Can they do that? Absolutely. Will they? We'll find out. The Kansas City defense, secondary, been pretty stellar. Giving up just 225 in the air, 7 yards on average per passing attempt. TJ Yeldon will be running the ball too. But let's be honest. Singletary will get the bulk of it. But yes, with TJ Yeldon back, he'll definitely see some snaps as well. Most notably. Nathan says, when the Bills can't pass, they struggle. They're -2 on turnovers. The one part that I do like about Kansas City is they are +5 in the turnover department. As far as this one goes, as far as the side guys, remember, I don't just give a free play on just on every game. As far as this one goes, the 5.5, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of the 5.5. I am really not a fan of the 5.5. I like the Chiefs. I don't like the 5.5. I don't like the 240 on the money line on the road either. As far as Marcus says, I see a total of 78 touchdowns and 3 field goals and a close game. DeCabe Wold says, Kansas City defense will show up just like they did against the Ravens. I do agree with that statement. Dan, did somebody say Singletary's trash? I don't think he's trash. He's done an effective job for a team that really hasn't needed to run the ball. Logan says Chiefs will lose this game. As far as this game goes, as far as this one goes, as of right now, and keep in mind, our plays aren't out yet, so I'm giving you guys the real raw breakdowns from an actual real bettor's perspective. And if you guys, for the 535 that are tuning in, as far as a bettor's perspective, yeah, I actually bet the games. And I don't mind showing off a losing ticket. I lost on the Rams yesterday. I know half of you guys already saw this, but here you go. The rest you guys could read in and you guys can see it. 65 to win 5, not dollars. So yeah, when you guys are getting breakdowns, you're actually getting raw, unedited, no scripted, straight from the noggin knowledge. And again, I don't have a play on the side of this game yet. Not to say that I won't later on. Not to say that I won't later on. But as far as right now, laying 5.5 on the Chiefs, I don't like. Not to say that they don't cover the spread. When you take a look at what they did against high-profile teams, beating the Ravens 34-20, their defense stepped up. Beating New England 26-10, their defense stepped up. In a big game situation, their defense has always came to play. A game against the Chargers, people were talking about how trash their defense was. Their defense wasn't trash. Their defense is what held them in the game. They gave up only 20 points to a Justin Herbert who came out of nowhere, who they didn't plan for, and that was just slinging the ball. Bob Smith, tweet us if I've got a pick. Maybe. Or it might be one of my personal plays if I end up getting something on this one. Anthony dropping the knowledge that there's nobody that's trash in the NFL. This isn't the CFL or the XFL. Marcus says you got to hit the thumbs up button. We definitely appreciate it when you do hit the thumbs up button. It helps get our video trending on YouTube and all of that stuff. So if you could take a second out of your day, the 531 people that are here, give us a big thumbs up. We definitely appreciate it. If you're on a mobile device, you have to click on the little X in the live chat before you can see it. Chicken Sauce says 30-17 Chiefs is what I have. I want to agree with you. I like the Chiefs, and I'm going to put that down right here as I like the Chiefs. I just don't know if I can trust them laying the 5.5. Now, we haven't seen them in that 5.5 range this entire year. We've seen them as a 9-point or more favorite, or we saw them as a 3-point dog. That's what we've seen them at. So we haven't seen them in that middle of the ground favorite where they're only laying 5.5. Neverez, what's going on? That's one aspect we haven't seen so far from a betting standpoint for the Chiefs. Against the Texans, they were laying 9. They covered the spread. Against the Chargers, they were laying 9. They did not. They won by 3. Against the Ravens, they were catching 3. They were that 3-point dog, and we hammered the snot out of them, and they won by 2 touchdowns. They were laying 11 against New England. They won by 15. Vegas, they were laying 10, and they lost by 8. Sella says, Kyle, the Chiefs will cover, hammer it. I do lean the Chiefs. My early opinion is I do lean the Chiefs. Now, that may change. That may turn into a play. I may turn it into a teaser with either the over or the under. I am undecided. One thing that I do want to do is obviously, well, D-Raid, this is technically not Monday Night Football. It's more like Monday afternoon football. So I don't even think they'll need the stadium lights for the first hour of the game. Maybe because of the weather. Maybe. But as far as the total on it goes, I can go back and forth on why the total is low. Okay? I can go back and forth on why the total is low. Generally speaking, on the Bills games, we see totals, for the most part, started out in the high 30s, low 40s. And each game, that total on the Bills has gone up, with the exception of their last game where it dropped a total by a point. Plant-Based Junkie says the Bills defense comes back in a big way. Take the Bills with the plus money, as this will be one of the last times you get this type of value with the Bills. Well, be interesting to see the line when they play Seattle. The Bills will be the dog. And the Bills will probably be a dog when they face the Steelers on December 13th. Interesting, they'll probably be a pick against the 49ers as well. They're on the road against San Francisco. They might even be a dog against San Francisco on the road. But as far as the total goes, Buffalo's total has been adjusted for every game, the fact that they keep going over. They keep going over, so the bookmakers keep raising the price to bet the over. As far as the Chiefs, 54 points scored in the first game, went over. 43 in their second. 54 in their third, that went under by a point. 36 in their fourth game, and then obviously 72 in the last. I don't see an indoor shootout like we saw against Vegas. Keep in mind, the Bills game against Vegas, in Vegas, stayed under the total. Well, it actually pushed. It actually closed at 53, and that's where the number ended up landing. But as far as the total, I think the total's a tad bit too high. I like the under. I lean the under. But I'm going to give a full disclosure. All right, under 55.5. It's kind of like betting in baseball, no runs in the first. There's only 3 teams in baseball I will never bet no run in the first. That's the Braves, the Dodgers, and the Yankees. Betting Kansas City under is a scary fact, all right? They can light up the scoreboard at will. Then taking the fact that the Bills, who used to be just a couple years ago an insta-under team, the Bills were always the Bills are playing, take the under. The Bills are playing, take the under. 2-3 years ago, the Bills are playing, take the under. Every single game, the Bills are playing, take the under. All right? Bills playing, take the under, take the under, take the under. That's obviously not the case this year. Because if you did, you're 0-4. All right? The Bills games have gone over the total every single game. The bookmakers have not been able to fool the public on one game. They got lucky and there was a push. But for the most part, most people don't bet the games early. Most people wait. So Vegas is more than likely technically 0-5 when it comes to the Bills totals. Here they are. They got 55.5. Trying to read through some of the comments in the chat. I love that you guys converse back and forth and help break down the games, giving out your guys' opinion. If you do not participate in our live chat, you need to. If you do not have if you do not have a YouTube account, create a YouTube account so you can hit that thumbs up button so that you can participate in the first half. Or first half. I'm reading the comments, first quarter. So you can participate in the live chat. It's because of you guys that makes the live chat and this show interactive and fun. So if you do not have a YouTube account, create one. All right, create one. Log in. If you got a Gmail account, you've got a YouTube account. All right, log in, participate in the live chat. It's a lot of fun. Remember, not a requirement to be here either, or agreeing with me. But as far as betting the under, I do lean towards the under. But again, this is a game with two teams that I don't like betting the under. It's just a fact. But if it makes sense, and that's where the money needs to be, I have no problem doing it. D. Wade says 3K on Kansas City tonight, I think. Jalen says, I like Kansas City too, but I don't think they get a cover. Young and the Kid says the Cardinals versus Cowboys under, Chiefs money line. Demetrius says, does the weather play a role in the Kansas City Buffalo under? Here's the thing about the weather, and this is my opinion. I say this every single time somebody brings up the weather. When it comes to the weather, does the weather affect a game? Absolutely. Does the weather being sunny and clear make you instantly take the over? No. Does it being rainy and sloppy instantly tell you to take the under? No. There has been so many times where it's pouring down slop, the fields are muddy, it's snowing, it's a whiteout. And we let everybody push that game under. And we kick back and then we pound the snot out of the over. It doesn't always mean, weather doesn't always mean that just because there's weather in a game that it needs to go under. Remember, turnovers are a big factor. Both of these teams are prone to turnovers. Mahomes will probably throw a pick. Somebody from the Bills is probably going to fumble it at least once. It just is a matter of where those turnovers happen. And as far as that goes, that's the luck of the draw. Dan just said, pouring down and slop can lead to ultimate turnovers equal over. Yes and no. For the yes part, let's just say Kansas City kicks off to the Bills. The Bills have it in their own zone. They fumble the ball in their own zone. Obviously, that sets up Kansas City for some type of points, be it a field goal, be it a touchdown, whatever the case may be. But if Kansas City kicks it off to Buffalo, Buffalo runs it all the way back, they run 9 plays, they get into the red zone, they get down to the 5, and Josh Allen throws a pick in the end zone. Now it's a touchback. Now Kansas City, there's no points on the board, and Kansas City's got to drive the ball another 80 yards that way. Or maybe it'll be Patrick Mahomes that throws one in the end zone. Vegas is not adjusting their lines according to the weather. Everybody has known in the last 2 days that it was supposed to rain. Now, has the total gone down? It has. The total opened up at 57.5. It's dropped a whopping 2 points. That's not somebody factoring weather. And it's not because people are betting the under. It's actually pretty even. If you take a look at the numbers of the percentages from the total, it actually has gone up. There's been more money, 2%, literally in the last 20 minutes. When I just hit the refresh button right now, it was at 58% on the over, 42% on the under. It's now 60-40 over, okay? So literally, more money is coming in on the over, and actually the percentage from Kansas City to Buffalo bets has actually dropped 1%. It's now 84% against the spread on Kansas City, 16% on Buffalo. So it has changed a little bit. So weather doesn't necessarily mean that the game will go over, doesn't necessarily mean it'll help it stay under. It just is a matter of when those turnovers come, because when we have weather, we do get turnovers. It's a fact. It's just a matter of where they happen. Where they will happen, that's the luck of the draw. I can't tell you that. I can't help you with that one, and either can you guys. We don't know if it's going to be Josh Allen that screws a snap, Singletary who fumbles a ball trying to get in the end zone, Patrick Mahomes with a slippery ball, lets one sail loose, and it doesn't go where he wants it to go. Where those situations happen, we don't know. Nathan says, I really like this under the more we talk about it. You saw how Buffalo folded when they played the Titans, plus the rain. You know, I do agree. If the Chiefs get out, or let's just say any one of these teams get out to a good lead, and it's raining, they're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. They're not going to risk it if it's bad weather. If it's bad weather, Fernando says, of course the Chiefs will slam dunk them, but when Sammy went out against the Raiders, the Chiefs stopped scoring. That is a good point. Okay, that is a good point. When you have a huge threat and they go out, it definitely affects how that defense responds to the other players. Sammy Watkins being out, no doubt about it. Everybody else that's... The only other one questionable is Schwartz, who's a tackle, though. Other than that. Absurd says, Mahomes under 305.5 passing yards. Anyone? It's definitely enticing. So again, as far as this one goes, I do lean towards the under. I do lean towards Kansas City. I don't have any free plays on it because as of right now, I'm undecided. And that's actually the minds of somebody that actually bets the games. Maybe possible teaser opportunity there. I'm not a big fan of the 5.5. The fact that the percentage has changed towards the over is kind of interesting. Sam, I agree. I wouldn't say they're both stingy on the run defense. Kansas City can't defend it. Kansas City get torched by the run. Singletary's able to establish a run game. The Bills will be able to do some damage on the ground if they want to. They usually don't, though. Usually don't need to. As far as other angles of this game, first half, Bills +3, Kansas City laying 3, over and under 27.5. Again, on the total I'm off of as of right now. As far as the first quarter over 10.5, I'm off of. I'm going to give you guys a big tidbit. You guys know I love first quarter totals. I love first quarter totals. Now, both of these teams are capable to light up the scoreboard early and often. And they generally do. Okay? As far as in the NFL, first quarter overs, if it's over 10, my likelihood of winning it have been a lot less. Okay? It's something that you need to take into consideration if you bet them. You need to actually pay attention to that. When you get the 9.5s, the 7.5s, the 10s, I'm all in. Not all in betting, but I'm all in favor of betting it. It's the 10.5 that gets you. In the NFL, where teams establish a run, they're at least 5-6 minute drives. So if the opening drive goes down and it lasts 5-6 minutes, and one of the teams gets a touchdown, they kick off, the next team goes down, nothing, they kick off, nothing, they go back down. Now the other team who hasn't scored yet has a 5-6 minute drive, they get that field goal. It happens time and time again. There'll be 3 minutes left in the first quarter. They've wasted 12 of the 15 minutes. The score is 7-3. One of the teams is driving all the way down to the end. They're in the red zone, and you're praying for a 3-and-out before they snap the ball. I mean, you're begging them 3-and-out, 3-and-out, so they kick the field goal so you can hit the over 10.5 because you're sitting at 10. They don't get it. First play of the second quarter is generally always a score or within the first minute. The bookmakers know that. They put two high-profile teams like this. In the last 3 games, the Bills have only broken 10 points one time in the first quarter. And trust me, I don't think there's anybody out there that loves betting first quarter overs more than me. And let me tell you, we're very successful at doing it. We're very successful at picking the right time and the right teams to do it. Now, this one is at 10.5. If it was to drop down to 10, which I don't think it will, we'd actually have to see the total drop a couple points for it to drop to 10. But if it was below 10, you can probably talk me into betting it. The way I look at it at 10, you're looking at a push. In my opinion, when a total is sitting at 10, I look at it as worst case scenario will probably end up as a push. Now, I don't bet every game. There's got to be key things and key requirements that I look for in a team to bet a first quarter over. So as far as this first quarter over, I'm off of. That high-scoring game, 72 points against the Raiders and the Chiefs. There's only 10 points in the first quarter. Okay? There's only 10 points in the first quarter. Against the Patriots, the Chiefs were up 6-0 in the first quarter. That's 0 for 2 first quarter over 10s, or 10.5. Chiefs and the Ravens, 9 points in the first quarter. Chiefs and the Chargers. Where did my stuff go? My whole screen reset. Chiefs and the Chargers, 3 points in the first quarter. 0-4. Against the Texans, 7-0 Houston. 0-5. Kansas City has not had a first quarter that went over 10.5 points all season long. They've had one. So as far as, because I've seen somebody say that they're all in on the 10.5 over. 10, I would be inclined to, just for the fact that I know the Bills will probably make a drive and they'll put up some points. Kansas City will be good for at least a field goal on their opening drive, more than likely, or at least at some point in the first quarter. I can see 10 hitting. 14, for all we know, maybe there's 21 because of turnovers. But as this one, I can't bet it. I just can't. So trust me, I looked at that optional, earlier in the week to see what it was. And again, Kansas City 0-5 first quarter overs. So be careful. Be careful if that's what you're betting. All right, so again, if I get something, we'll find out. But as of right now, as this game, I do lean Kansas City. I do lean the under. But again, Kansas City and Buffalo are teams that I don't like betting unders on. Now, as far as Cardinals and the Cowboys go, if you guys have watched our daily free play video, you know I already put out a play on the Cowboys. We bet the Cowboys when they were a pick'em. But let's be honest. Nothing has changed. You guys have already said, oh, it's an upset if the Cardinals win because they're +1. Here's a fact. If you guys think because the spread went from a pick'em to laying 1, if you guys think anything has changed, Nothing has changed. Chicken sauce, if I had to pick one, I'd say the spread. I think the total is too unpredictable. As far as the Cardinals and the Cowboys, the actual number hasn't changed. The money line hasn't changed one bit. The spread has. But the money line hasn't changed. So when people were like, oh, Arizona's now a dog. Well, they're still laying 104 if you want to bet them on the money line. They're still minus 104. Or 105, actually. Kansas City is still a minus $1.15, which is exactly where they were last night when I gave them out. So the only thing that's changed is the actual number the bookmakers are allowing you to bet. Last night it was a pick'em at minus $1.15. It's still a pick'em at minus $1.15, except it just doesn't say pick. It says money line. It's the same bet. Rich says, in my opinion, it's not an upset unless you're a 2-score dog. 1 score is not that uncommon to end with an outright win. Thank you, Rich. I think this is the first time I've seen you in our live chat, and I love your comment. I love your comment. And again, if you're new to our channel, hit that subscribe button right down below. We go live 7 days a week. Tomorrow we don't have football, but we got the World Series. And we won't just talk about the World Series tomorrow. We'll talk about maybe a live look ahead. We got some more football coming back. Nice slate of games this next week. So we go live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 Pacific. On the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, we go live an hour earlier, 9 a.m. Eastern. It's early on the West Coast, let me tell you. I don't like our West Coast days because I got to get up really early for those. Get up early, drive into the office. I'm always up late. But if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Mike Roth says, thank you for the Sunday NFL guaranteed play, guys. If you are not betting our Sunday NFL plays, oh my Lord, you have been missing out. Our big Sunday NFL plays are 6-0 on the year. We have not lost one yet. Another blowout yesterday. Bengals and the Colts over. We were 1 point away from winning at halftime. The Bengals wouldn't have been limited to that field goal and would have scored. We would have hit it before the half. It's the way we like doing it. Randy says, where can I find your record for this year in your posted plays? Couldn't find it on Cappers Direct. Considered buying a package. We don't post it on the website. I recap it in every single video. Every single video that we do, we give out a full recap of everything that we do. The reason why is because a few years ago, we had a small little issue. Obviously, something like baseball is one of the only sports where you can ride a hot trend. It doesn't matter the odds. You can ride a hot trend or a hot team in baseball like no other, to the tune of 12, 14, 16 games in a row. Either by fading somebody, following somebody, whatever the case may be. Or certain teams, we might bet an over in certain situations, and it just become blatantly obvious on who we were taking before we were taking. And I'm going to be honest with you, we actually really respect the clients that support us, that get on board. And it's definitely not fair to give away the farm or make it blatantly obvious who we might be taking. However, we do recap every single game. And if you want to be one of the individuals, because I know there's dozens of them in the live chat that do, not even that are on our plays, but just here for the videos. But they keep track of everything that we do to keep us honest. And let me tell you, if I said we had something and we didn't, I have so many customers in here that are on our plays. I'd get called out so fast that it's insane. So do we post them on our website? No. But I do better than that, because I'll be honest with you, Randy, anybody can post anything on their website and be full of shit. You can't question somebody because somebody posted something on a website and hold them to it and actually have somebody in their package tell you the exact opposite. For instance, Ross Pitts is on my personal plays. I won't even use him as an example because he just showed up. Ross, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Just scrolling through the chat. Brandon Foster is a client of mine. Brandon Foster is a 2-year client. Anthony's a client. Anthony's here as well. There's actually a whole ton of them. Danny Daniels, good morning, sir. Thanks for joining us. Marcus says you got to pay for the sauce. Fact. But I can tell you, yesterday, I had a losing day. Myself personally, on my personal plays, I went 1-2. I went 1-2 yesterday. We hammered the Texans and Titans. First quarter over. I dropped the Patriots over because they couldn't score. And I had a teaser that the Browns screwed up. The Browns and the Eagles teaser. Eagles cashed on the teaser. Browns did not. But if I was to get in this live chat and say, I also had Denver, and I won, all my clients in here would be like, hello, I didn't get that game. Bill, we hit the rewind button. I already gave a great breakdown of the first quarter overs. And again, this was our free play yesterday. And this is why we choose to recap them in the videos, is because I can show you stuff like this. This was our daily free play video play yesterday. You show me another person that does this. And that's straight from BetOnline. Nobody else will be able to do that. Nobody. But again, you want to know what we did the day before, the week before? Watch the videos. You'll see the full recap in them every single day. And if you want to be one of the individuals that keeps track, by all means, keep track. But again, anybody can put anything on a website. How could I feel about Dalton? Or how do I feel about Dalton? I don't think Andy Dalton's a trash quarterback by any means. I think he's played for some pretty piss-poor team. I mean, in the Bengals. G. Williams says the Cowboys better win. All right, so take a look at the Cowboys. What we're going to do first, we're going to take a look at where the line started. We're going to take a look at where it's at now. And then we're going to take a look at where the money's at. Larry, how do you show your wagers on here? You'd have to email them to me, and I'd have to upload them onto the screen, which I've done from time to time. Real Champ says, nobody shows tickets. That's fact. They just say book it and play it. Fact. Except me. And I actually will log into my account from time to time and actually bet the games live with you, mirroring my screen so you guys can see. The rewind says, talk all that shit, Kyle. That's the difference. Here, you actually get I may not give you every free play on the board. I may not give you a whole lot of free plays. That's just not the way that we work. I'm not betting every game on the board. I'm not betting first half, second half, totals, this, that. And when you get a full slate of NBA games, I'm not going to roll down the list, or on Saturday, college football Saturday, and I'm not going to roll down the list and go take this team, take that team, take the over, take the under, and then I won't have another swinging dick come in an hour later or on the same show and say, I disagree, I'm taking the under while you're taking the over. That will never happen here because we actually bet the games. We actually bet the games. Mike Z says, I got $2K to spend today. Let's make some money out of it. You got it, Mike. Mike is on our plays. Mike is a nice client of ours as well. A lot of you guys are. A lot of you guys are. And I love it. I love it. It's one thing that you guys will never have to call me out on is something shady. That's for sure. Kyle said, Kyle SBR love me. Do they? Do they love me? Or do they talk about me because we tell them how it is? They probably talk smack. All the shows probably do. But let's be honest, nobody does it like we do. Win, lose, or draw. Win, lose, or draw, I'm actually betting the games for thousands of dollars. Others can talk it, but they can't prove it because it's not true. Others will talk it, but they can't prove it. Larry says, repping you in Eugene, Oregon. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Nobody filming the videos. Ross Pitt says, I made $1,200 in some of your plays, so thank you. You're very welcome, sir. Thank you for being on board. Christopher, you rock with both shows? You know, I'm sure there's valuable content in both shows. I'm sure there's valuable content in both shows. Or in both places. You know, I just don't agree with people that actually don't prove they bet, giving out betting advice. That would be like a financial advisor not financially investing. I don't agree in cappers that are out there, Twitter touts, free play givers, whatever you want to call them. Twitter touts, YouTube clowns, whatever you want to call them. If you don't show that you actually have skin in the game, dear Lord, people will believe just about anything out there. People will believe just about anything out there. Nathan says, I take this pretty seriously. CVEX says, I'm going to call you out on the shading behind the lighting is off. The lighting is off. The lighting is off. Absolutely. Or the lighting is off on my ticket. Because we all know that's not the truth. Sean says, Kyle, they're called trolls. Absolutely. G. Williams, that's just the barbershop talk. We got a barbershop poll. This is the barbershop talk of sports betting where anything goes except politics, religion, and how much money is in or not in your bank account. Oh, damn, Jalen, you caught me. You can call me out on it. I'm going to blame it on the ear infections. All right? We doing a makeup show? We might. Do you want to come on? I'll give you the link and You could show us the makeup you wear on Friday and Saturday nights there, Tony. Let us know if it's a pink skirt or a red dress. Sam Bell, I am doing fantastic. I am doing fantastic. Mark, if you had $7,500 on the Rams, I hope you had equal amounts on all the other premium plays. Because if you're betting premium plays, you should be betting them consistently all across the board. Don't matter if you're betting $100 on them, $10 on them, or $7,500 on them. The only way to be successful on our plays that we put out is to bet them evenly and consistently across the board. The Rewinds, Kyle, I'm about to renew my personals for 3 days. It will be definitely worth it. Remember, we've got other avenues that I will be betting. And again, if I don't have a play, let's just say I don't have anything on Wednesday. Maybe I don't like the game on Wednesday. If I don't have a play on Wednesday, you're not charged for a day. You're not charged for a day. If you buy a 3-day package, I'm making sure that you get taken care of. Mark Z, you're only on my plays this weekend. But then if you're betting my plays, the Rams was a free play that we gave out. It was a free personal play or free premium play. Then you should make sure that you're betting all the way across the board. Ronald Brown says, hey, bro, I drive trucks, but love to listen to the show every day. Just can't chat and drive. Highway Patrol don't play, but I am staying with my packages. Absolutely. Thank you. We love having you not only in the live chat when you are able to, but just listening, tuning in, as well as being a client as well. We love all of our clients. All right, so let's get to the Cowboys, or as I like to call them, the Cowgirls. We might be betting on the girls today, boys and girls. Oh, wait, we already are because we already put that one out. I did, Sam. I did, and I actually live bet it right before the Titans scored the touchdown. I got plus 200 on that game live yesterday, which was pretty cool. Mark says, I went too big on one game. Always got to remain consistent. Unless your bankroll can support it, always remain consistent. Rodney says, why is it so hard to put your play in the casinos? It's because they don't want to get hurt. Let me tell you, you know what the neat thing about BetOnline is? Your limit is what your bankroll is. They have a policy where you can rebet it in 61 seconds or when the line changes, whichever one comes first. So you can bet whatever you want on there without question. All right, so taking a look at this one, first of all, it's fair. You got to take a look at where the number started. Cardinals opened up as a 2.5-point favorite. Cowboys were catching 2.5. That did not stay long. All right, obviously, that was with the news with Dak being out, Andy Dalton, the redheaded stepchild, coming in. Dak and that gruesome injury. Oh, my Lord. I could just throw up thinking about it. Total opened up at 53.5. It has slowly crept up on us. Take a look at where the line is as of right now. As of last night, when I put out the line on this game, it's technically in the exact same spot. However, the spread has changed, but the actual money line number has not. So a lot of people saying, oh my God, Arizona this, Arizona that, Arizona this, Arizona that. The only thing that's actually changed is the juice. Last night, the Cowboys and the Cardinals were a pick'em. The money line on the Cardinals last night was minus $1.15. It's in the exact same spot this morning. The Cowboys are laying $1.15 on the money line. Now, you could lay one minus $1.06, and it's funny, if you do that, you could lay a half minus $1.16 or take the money line on the same spot. Or you could buy it down to a pick 'em minus $1.26, and some people will not even recognize that you could just bet the money line spot at minus $1.16 as of right now. Okay? So the number really hasn't changed. They're just moving the juice number around. Now let's take a look at the percentages. And again, for the people that are tuning in, the way I deal with percentages, I don't care where some self-imposed title sharp bettor is betting. I don't care where some Twitter tout is betting. I don't care where somebody on YouTube is betting. I don't care that Joe's mama over there is betting. None of that matters to me. It doesn't matter what the percentage is. That will never determine where my bet is going to be made. My bet will be determined where it's going to be made with the breakdown, the analysis, the stats, and any information that we can gather in order to make the best outcome when I handicap the game. The only thing that I will use as far as where the percentages go, either the over, the under, the side, whatever the case may be, I will use that to my advantage on when to bet, the time. And I say this every day. The percentages I use to determine when I'm going to bet. Okay? So for instance, as of right now, the Cardinals and the Cowboys, 58% are on the over, 42% are on the under. Now, I've been monitoring these lines the entire live show. I have access to live odds. You guys actually have access to live odds on our website, cappersdirect.com, by clicking on the odds tab. It's a service that we pay for. As far as the spread, when we first started the show, it was 67% on Dallas, 33% on Arizona. It has slowly crept down every time I've taken a look at it. We're now down to just 63% of all against the spread bets coming in on Dallas, 37% on Arizona. There's been a 4% swing in favor of Arizona, yet that line hasn't moved. Okay? 62% of all moneyline backers are on the Cowboys. Now, which is interesting because the numbers are actually the same as far as juice goes. It's actually cheaper to take the Cowboys on the money line than it is to even take them on the spread and buy it down. As far as timing goes, and my example on when to use this. So, if you know the bookmakers are pushing that line up on Arizona back to the 2.5, and you want to take the Cowboys, you might want to wait. However, that's not the case. They've made the Cowboys the favorite. Even though there's more money on the Cowboys, that percentage has been coming down. All right? They were catching 2.5. Tons of people bet them. Now the money's starting to creep back in on Arizona as they were a pick 'em. Now they're +1. I expect more money to come in on Arizona. Hell, most of the chat likes Arizona. But yet, the Cowboys are now laying 1. Vegas has no reason or no rules behind where they have to push the line. Vegas will manipulate a line to fool you guys and fool you guys. All right? Vegas has no laws, no requirements, no regulations on where they have to make a line. Make a line whatever the hell they want, when they want, why they want. So I will use that, that information to my advantage when it comes to betting timing-wise. If I think the line's going to go down for the Cowboys, I'll wait. I'll take a better line. If I think the line is going to go up on the Cowboys, which are one of the most publicly bet teams out there besides the Patriots, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Baltimore Ravens, and the 49ers. The Cowboys are one of the number one bet public teams. Knowing that, that's why the line is laying 1, but yet the money line is only minus 116. I will use this to my advantage on when to bet. Okay? I will strictly use it to my advantage on when to bet. And that's it. So if I think the line is going to go up for the Cowboys and I want to bet the Cowboys, I'm going to bet it sooner rather than later. But if I want to take the Cardinals, but I think the Cowboys money's going to come in and that line's going to get higher, I'm just going to kick back and wait. Same thing for the over, the under. If I think the line's going to drop and I want to take the over, I'll wait. But if I'm on the under and I think that line's dropping, I'm going to bet it now rather than later. Okay? So as far as this one goes, let's take a look at the breakdown. Let me cycle back up. We'll get this one rolling. This is your true Monday Night Football game. This is the 8:15 Eastern time game 275 and 276. We've got the 3-2 Arizona Cardinals, 3-2 against the spread. 0-4-1 to the over. Not one game has gone over. They're going to be going up against the Cowboys, who have 4-1 to the over. Cowboys are also 2-3 straight up. 0-5 against the spread. You know what? They may have lost Dak, but they picked up a starting quarterback that can start for just about any team in the NFL. All right? That's their backup and the redheaded stepchild of Andy Dalton. Now, I've made a lot of money with Andy over the years. He has won us a ton of money over the years. What he did in Cincinnati is kind of like what old Joe Burrow is going to do up there. Until they build a supporting cast around him, he's going to suck. All right? Much like Sam Darnold. Until he gets on a team or with quality coaches or out of the Jets organization, he's not going to shine until he has a supporting cast around him. Does Andy Dalton have a supporting cast around him in Dallas? They have the capability to, they're just not playing like it. He can pass the ball. They've got weapons. Honestly, in my honest opinion, Dak Prescott can sling the ball. There is a reason why Jerry Jones refused to give him that gigantic contract long-term that he was wanting, that Dak was wanting. Jerry Jones offered him a shit ton of money to make him the highest paid quarterback, but Dak still turned it down. I'm sure he's regretting it today. But again, that's besides the point. Andy Dalton is a very capable quarterback. If you take Andy Dalton and Dak Prescott and you pair them up side by side, okay, Dak can run the ball better. Dak could probably take a hit better, just not with the ankle. Well, Drew to the crew, when you're on a shitty team, that's generally what happens. So was Ryan Tannehill when he played for Adam Gase, right? As far as Andy Dalton, I think the Red Rocket's capable of making better under duress, under stress, game time decisions than Dak. Experience, pressure. He'll be like a rock. Dak folds under that pressure. Between that and poor coaching decisions, they have definitely been plagued with poor coaching decisions over the years, including by their head coach this year already. We saw that in week 1. All right, so taking a look at the Cardinals, first of all, they opened up fantastic. They beat the 49ers in week number 1, 24-20, shocking the entire betting world. They beat the football team. They beat that football team 30-15. And again, Drew to the crew, that's exactly what I said. When you build a supporting cast around a good quarterback, they shine. And that's exactly what Tannehill did. You're saying Tannehill was riding on that running game. No shit. You support the quarterback with a quality program. And look what happens. Tom Brady has a quality program around him. He has a quality supporting cast. And he has many offensive weapons that can not only run the ball, can catch, can block, and can set up plays. If you build it, they will come. If you build a team around the quarterback, around a good quarterback, you can have a great team. That I agree with. And again, You can take a shitty quarterback and build a quality team around him with great supporting cast, and you can still have an okay team. But if you take a great quarterback and you give him no protection, you give him nobody that can run the ball, you give him a coach that can't make the right play calls, he's going to suck in the eye of the beholder every single time. So says, Kyle, you're right. I think the Red Rooster is a better game manager than Dak. Seaback says the only problem with Dalton is he is an interception machine. I wouldn't necessarily say he's an interception machine. Has he thrown a lot of picks? Absolutely. Has Andy Dalton, when he was in Cincinnati, did he have that supporting cast? Did he have that supporting cast? And again, Drew to the crew. Quality quarterbacks, quality teams will have an off game. The Packers played shitty yesterday. It's going to happen. They're human. You're not betting on robots. They're not going to be perfect 100% of the time. If you think Aaron Rodgers is going to go out there and have a lights-out game 16 weeks in a row, it's not going to happen. Same thing with Tom Brady. He's going to have an off game. Patrick Mahomes going to have an off game. Patrick Mahomes had an off half, the first half against the Chargers. As far as Andy Dalton's interceptions go, did I say he was doing a better job? I think I just dogged him. Drew to the crew, you might want to actually open your ears and pay a little attention, because I said that Mike McCarthy has made coaching mistakes. 100%. And no, I'm not a Mike McCarthy fan at all. Is he a better coach than Marvin Lewis? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll take McCarthy over Lewis any given day with the shittiest team possible, and I bet we have better outcomes. But as far as Andy Dalton being an interception machine, when you support him with not the best quality talent around you, you generally don't get good results. If you can't protect the quarterback, he's going to be rushed. He's not going to make the best decisions. If he's getting hit every single passing attempt and getting knocked on his ass, he's not going to make the best passing plays that are out there. But if you take a supporting quality program and you put it out around a quality offensive line, and it's not just the offensive line. You could have a great offensive line, but if you don't have the back that can run, you don't have the receivers that can catch the ball and run the right routes when they have to, and you don't have the right offensive coordinator or head coach to call the right plays, if you don't have it, what do you got? And one receiver is not going to do it. Having one great receiver is not going to do it. Having one great receiver is not going to get the job done. Definitely helps. It definitely helps to have a star like A.J. Green. Jay Gonzalez haven't given out a free play yet. Just because we broke down a game doesn't mean we're going to have a free play on it. Don't have any plays on it. As a matter of fact, I haven't put out any plays other than the Cowboys last night. As of right now, that's the company's only play today, believe it or not. We will have more angles. You are correct. Andy Dalton did have a good supporting cast around him. But if you don't have the right coach, the right running backs, the right tight ends, the receivers, the offensive line to protect them, Drew to the crew again. I've already said Andy Dalton is not the running quarterback that Dak is. That Dak's got the edge. The Cowboys will definitely miss that. Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt about it. I think any team, if you could take, Dak is a great quarterback. Dak is a great quarterback. Is he elite? Not yet. He hasn't won on that elite level yet. Will he be the same when he comes back? Supposedly the surgery he had, he'll be stronger and better than ever, is what they say. You have to have all the pieces to the puzzle in order to get that perfect combo. Does Dallas have that perfect combo? No. But I think Andy Dalton's set up for success better in Dallas than he was in Cincinnati. That I do agree. That I do say. Now, is he in his prime? No. Will he try and make a statement that he can still start and command a team and an offense? Probably. He's definitely going to give it his best effort. I like his chances today. I like him as a quarterback. I like him as a game decision operator. That I do like. Jason says, I don't think Dak is great, just my opinion. He has elite skill position talent around him. He definitely does, and that makes his job a lot easier. It would make anybody a lot easier. I think Dak has the qualities of a great quarterback. And again, maybe the difference between saying great is not the right word. I think he's a good top-level quarterback, but he's not great or elite, in my opinion. So using the word great is probably not the right analogy. So, as far as the Dak debate, it really doesn't need to be. The poor kid's on the sidelines, you know? But I don't think, until he actually shines with adversity and when it matters the most, the debate about Dak is pointless, in my opinion. Until he actually shows it, like Patrick Mahomes, it's like saying Lamar. We could go back and forth about Lamar. People saying Lamar is an elite quarterback. Lamar, in my opinion, is not an elite quarterback. He is a good quarterback. Saying he's great is probably putting him in the lines of an elite quarterback. So I'd have to say he's a top-level good quarterback. Jay Gonzalez, what do I think is going wrong with the Cardinals this season? The Cardinals are the Cardinals. They've got a great supporting cast. Another team that has a problem defending the run. And turnovers. Turnovers. Cardinals are -4 on turnovers. Marcus says Dalton could make big on the second chance. He could, or he could flop. Absolutely. Victor says elite equals Super Bowls. Thank you. Perfect. Perfect example. Elite quarterback, Super Bowl capable quarterback, got his team to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, etc., etc., etc. Good gets him to the playoffs and chokes. Quality keeps him in the running. I guess we can end that debate on that note. That's a perfect one right there, Victor. Thank you. See, Max says Andy Dalton is the scariest looking quarterback in the league. His hair is on fire. Rick says Cards over Cowboys, Bills over Chiefs. A lot of people riding the Cardinals today. A lot of people riding the Cardinals. So let's finish up this breakdown. That way we can send you guys on your merry way. You guys can go bet, fade, follow, do whatever the hell you guys want to do when it comes to your betting. I know where I'm betting. I know where I'm betting. And if you guys watched our daily free play video, you guys already know where I'm betting. Arizona is 8-2 against the spread on the road in their last 10 games on the road against imperfect offenses, averaging more than 1.9 turnovers per game. The Cowboys have been plagued by turnovers. They are -8 in the turnover department. They are -8 in the turnover department. Ruben says, this guy's talking about Lamar Jackson not being an elite NFL quarterback. He doesn't know shit about football. Nope, I don't know shit about football, Ruben. Let me know when Lamar wins the Super Bowl. Or hell, let me know when Lamar at least beats Patrick Mahomes. And then I'll call him elite, okay? That make you better there, Ruben? But you should probably hit the unsubscribe button, the thumbs down button, then leave, because you would never want to take sports betting advice from somebody that you think doesn't know shit about football. So I would definitely recommend Ruben Gutierrez. You hit the thumbs down button, unsubscribe, and skedaddle on out of here, because you would never want to take sports betting advice from somebody who doesn't know football. That's for sure. Lamar Jackson's the best player in the league. Okay. Let me know when he wins the Super Bowl. Thank you. Mike, it would definitely be cool to get the Cowboys at +2 tonight. K-Tone, Foles is elite. Being put into a situation and shining in that situation, I don't think would make you. Thank you, Jalen and Marie. Quarterback. Big Dick Nick being elite. I think he's a very good quarterback who has gotten raw deals in his time in the NFL. But I wouldn't classify him as elite. But I think he's a very top-level quarterback that could start, if he remained healthy, for probably any team in the NFL. But till he went an entire season, and in order to be elite, I think you have to be able to remain healthy. You have to be able to take the hits. You need to be able to go out there and play hurt. It doesn't matter if it's your arm, your shoulder, your ribs, your back. I know, real champ. Also, we're talking about Foles. But again, my opinion on Nick Foles, he's a very top-level quarterback. Is he elite? Don't matter if you won a Super Bowl. You got to get your team there the entire step of the way. Oh, dear Lord, here we go. Is Kirk Cousins elite? In my opinion, no. But opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Rich dropping some comments. Foles is an elite backup. He can throw 7 TDs and win a Super Bowl as a backup, but as a true starter, the numbers don't lie. And until you can win that department and you can play through adversity, I don't think you're elite. Mike Brown says, laugh my ass off. Kyle knows his shit more than 99% of MFers out there. So peace out, Ruben. Anthony says, what Kyle bets in a football game you may not make in a week or a month, or hell, sometimes even a year. The OG, Super Bowl equals elite. It's not the only requirement. Definitely not the only requirement. Definitely not the only requirement. Ruben says Lamar Jackson could have won the Heisman 2 years in a row while at Louisville. The guy clearly doesn't know anything about football. I'm sorry, but if winning the Heisman Trophy classifies you as elite, then how many USC quarterbacks should have been elite because they won the Heisman? Matt Leinart, Palmer. You want me to keep on going? Those quarterbacks never made it as an elite quarterback in the NFL. And I think they actually won the Heisman. Lamar could have, should have, would have. Scott says can't be elite if you're a back, right? And again, this is the NFL. Tim Tebow didn't make it as an elite quarterback in the NFL. Thank you, Dan. Perfect example. Anyways. Matt Leinart was elite. Elite at USC. And you guys all know I'm a Leinart fan. Randy Marsh, Johnny Manziel won the Heisman. He's an elite NFL quarterback. I think the misconception between elite and good is a big difference. Jalen says, laugh my ass. I like Lamar as much as anyone. I always support players from South Florida, but he has work to do before he's elite. You know, I think there's a big misconception between what elite to one is and what elite to another is. Fight fan says, Vince Young greater than Leinart. I disagree. But that's because I'm a USC fan. Oh, yeah. Chicken sauce. Leinart was nothing in the NFL. Nothing. McGill says, USC, give Bush the key to the locker room again. Exactly. All right, so we got way off topic, and I actually love that. Oh, okay, great. Because the guy can run the ball makes him an elite passing quarterback, an elite quarterback position. Okay. All right, Ruben, yes. Ruben says we don't know anything here about pro football because Lamar Jackson's rushing record is currently in Canton, Ohio. There's a lot of people's records that are in Canton, Ohio that never made it to an elite level. That's a fact. That is a fact. Again, definitely Ruben. So here's my question to Ruben. If you're such a smart individual, Ruben, okay, which apparently I'm not. If I'm so stupid and I don't know anything about professional football, why are you still here? Why are you still watching my show? You know, the person that you said doesn't know anything. Randy says, I don't ban anybody. I don't ban anybody. You got to be really derogatory and nasty to get banned. But hey, we'll let him be here. But my question is for Ruben, who's really the stupid one? All right? Last time I checked, it's my show. Alex, where did he come? He came out of thin air. Mike Smith says, Ruben, Kyle could have ran all over Philly. That's a weak argument. All right. What we're going to do. We're going to let Ruben have his field day. All right, everybody, hold on. Here's what we're going to do. Everybody agree with Ruben. All right, everybody in the chat say Ruben, just type in there, Lamar's the best. Okay, you guys all have a free pass for saying something whack. All right, so everybody put in the comments, let's all agree with Ruben. Ruben, you're correct. Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback, the best passing quarterback in the NFL, the best runner. He's the best running back. He's the best center. He's also the best tight end in the league as well. Okay? Ruben, hands down, I think this show should be yours. All right? You should come run the show. You should definitely come on. I don't know nothing about pro football. So everybody put in the comment section about how great Lamar is. So that way, Ruben will shut the fuck up and we can get back to the Cardinals and the Cowboys. Let's get it. All right, Cardinals, Cowboys, back to that game. Arizona averaging 25.6 points per game. 32.6 points per game coming from the Cowboys. Now, a lot of these offensive numbers, like we said, are going to change with whatever you want to call them, the red rocket, the pocket rocket, the red rifle, the flaming, never mind, I won't go there, the flaming redhead. The Cowboys have been averaging 381 yards a game in the air, 107 on the ground at 4.2 yards per carry. They've been averaging 25 passing plays to 25 rushing plays to 47 passing plays. However, that's because they've been behind in nearly every single one of their games. When you're behind, you don't run the ball. When you have somebody like Ezekiel Elliott on your team and you're not running the ball 30 plus times a game, you're probably losing. And you probably have a losing record. Oh wait, Dallas has a losing record. They're 2-3 on the year. Run the ball, run the ball, run the ball. Especially when you got Elliott. I don't care if you're going up against a top-level rush defense. That's not Arizona. They give up 124 yards a game on the ground at 4.5 yards per carry. If Elliott's not getting the ball 30 times today, Dallas does not have a chance to win the game. See that, right? I'll read the comments later, all right? We're going to finish this breakdown one way or another. We're going to get through it. Arizona, on the other hand, when you take a look at Arizona, boy, look at their run game. Well, first of all, you got to give credit where credit is due. Arizona has came a long way. To win 3 games for the Cardinals has been a tough thing over the years. To win 3 out of your first 5 games, that's an accomplishment, first of all. Arizona is not there yet. I think Arizona will be a quality team. I think Arizona will be a quality team in a year or 2 from now. I still think that they have a piece or 2 of the puzzle that they got to get together before they will be on that. Maybe we definitely shouldn't use the word elite level anymore, all right? They will be on a top level, okay? Because of Ruben, we definitely don't want to use the word elite anymore. Ruben, send me your address. I'll send you a bunch of foam padding for your walls off of Amazon for your safe space, okay? As far as Arizona goes, I like what I see out of them, all right? I like what I see out of the Cardinals. I think they are a quality team. I think they are improving game after game after game after game. However, they're plagued. They're young. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to make coaching mistakes. You see that with the turnovers. You see that with the turnovers every single game. Man, I think I'm going to have me a Reuben for lunch today. I think I'm going to have me a Reuben sandwich for lunch. I think I'm going to Uber eat it as soon as we're off the live show. The Cardinals are averaging 141 yards rushing the ball. Fantastic number. However, the one area that they need to clean up, I keep emphasizing turnovers. They need to. They need to. Again, Kyler Murray is the Cardinals' second best. Actually, he's their best rusher. Or excuse me, their best running back. Their quarterback is their best running back. Now, granted, Drake's got more rush yards than him by 18. But he also has 44 more carries than Kyler Murray. Murray has rushed 41 times so far. And we all know what happens when the running quarterback eventually runs out of runs. They end up like old RG3. Hopefully, they're able to keep this kid healthy because this guy is absolutely awesome. I like Kyler Murray as a quarterback. I like who he's coached by. I think it is set for success in the future. The fact that Kyler Murray has 41 rush yards for 296 yards and 5 touchdowns. This kid is deadly in the red zone. You got to worry about him on his wheels as well as passing the ball. Having a dual threat quarterback that can sling the ball is a whole nother ball game. Don't worry. Kyler Murray will eventually, when that rest of that supporting cast is around him, he'll win an MVP. Ruben will be on here saying how Lamar is trash and Kyler is the best that there ever will be. Murray has thrown 181 passes. He's completed 126 of them. He's got 1 yard under 1,300 so far on the season, 8 touchdowns. What has plagued him is that young inexperience of 6 interceptions, He's fumbled the ball one time. 7 turnovers are on the quarterback's hands. Everybody, I agree. You should definitely order a Reuben. And Chris, I think Chris just hit the nail on the head. It is lunchtime in Florida. The recruiting office is probably on lunch break, aka Reuben. Chris, your comment is the best comment of the morning. Rich says, word of the day for Monday is elite. It's no longer Overreaction Monday. It is now known on Cappers Nation as Elite Monday. From now on, it is no longer Overreaction Monday. We are known as Elite Monday. Matter of fact, we're going to take the time before we get out a free play, extra free play on this one for you. We're going to put that on the board. All right? It is no longer Overreaction Monday. It is now known as Elite Monday here at Cappers Direct. And a Reuben Tuesday. That's classic. That's classic. And Chris, you know, I never really thought about that. But it makes perfect sense because nobody would try that hard. I get it. You know, your YouTube channel, not Chris, not you, but, you know, your YouTube channel sucks. You're now begging people for donations for your sports betting advice. So I get it. I get it. And it makes perfect sense. Thank you, Chris, for bringing that to light. Thank you for bringing that to light. All right, so back to this game. You know, we want to get to the breakdown. And put you guys on stuff for Elite Monday. All right? As far as the offenses go, what we're going to see out of Andy Dalton, I think we see quality decision making. I think Mike McCarthy, Andy Dalton, I think they know that they have to run the ball here. Johnny K says too much. He's got two. Too bad I have so much leftover baked ziti, or else I'd get a Reuben. You can get a Reuben tomorrow. I think Mike McCarthy, Andy Dalton, they know in order to set Andy Dalton up for success, they're going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to run the ball. They're going to have to put it in the hands of Elliott and hope that he keeps it in his hands and not out. He does have 2 fumbles on the year. So him and his wild hairdo are going to have to keep that ball in hand. And he's going to have to touch it at least 30 times a day for them to be successful. The thing is, the Cardinals defense gives up run yards. They give up yards to runners. They do. 124 yards a game on the ground. They give up 4.5 yards per carry. The Cardinals secondary has been pretty good, holding teams to 6.7 yards on average at 222 yards a game. When it comes to secondaries, I put them both on the same level. Okay? Both have some star power when it comes to their defense. When it comes to defending the run, Arizona has done it a tad bit better. But the fact is, they're defending it on average 5 times less. So if you take that numbers, even though Dallas has given up 32 more run yards a game, they're also defending the run 5 more times a game. So if you take the average, which is 4.5 for Arizona, what they give up, and you times it by 5, that's an extra 22.5 yards a game. Now we're talking a 10-yard a game difference. Now, if that 10-yard a game running the ball is the difference between a first down late to end the game by running the ball, then by all means, I'll say Arizona's a better running team. But when you actually break down dollars and cents and you compare averages, the numbers are nearly the same when it comes to defenses. The problem has been the turnovers. Whoever commits the most turnovers probably loses the game today. That's my opinion. Whoever commits the most turnovers today loses the game. Dallas is 11-4 on the over in their last 15 games at home against a good team with a winning percentage of 60% or more. Now, granted, the Cardinals have played 5 games and their winning percentage is up there. They're 3-2 out of 5 games. Jason says the Giants put up 34 on Dallas. Someone wanted to explain how they can stop the Cardinals. Atlanta also put up 39 on them. The Giants and Dallas always have a shootout. And yeah, the Giants put up some points on them. No doubt about it. That is a fact. Jack Stein, do I think they run the ball too much to kill the clock, which would kill the over? First of all, I think the difference needs to be about 5 or 6 run plays or more difference, swing in one direction to the other. Do I think it'll kill a chance for an over? No. As far as the total goes, I think the total could be a lot here. Especially in a game where I think we're going to see turnovers. Dan says, I think that goes for both games today. Most turnovers equal you lose. It's generally the thing. The more turnovers you have, you end up losing. Not always the case. Arizona was plus 100 last night. It changed. Dallas was minus $1.15 when I gave them out as a free play. My stance on the Cowboys has not changed. Matter of fact, I'll put that up on the board for everybody. And here we are, 2 games on the board going on for over 3 hours, and I absolutely love it. All right, so I put this out yesterday for Elite Monday for wherever Ruben is. All right, wherever you are, Ruben, a.k.a. Ghost Ruben, down in Tampa, Florida, in the recruiting office. Gave out the Cowboys or Cowgirls, whoever we want to call them, all right, on the money line last night. And that number hasn't changed from this morning, believe it or not. All right, that number hasn't changed from this morning. The only thing they adjusted was the spread. All right, that number hasn't changed. I look at it right now, the number hasn't moved. Number hasn't moved at all, okay? On this game, I'm taking the Cowboys. I gave it out last night. My opinion hasn't changed. Aaron says, I can't find the free play on my betting site, Elite. Oh, boy. Anthony says the Giants always play the Dallas as a shootout. 100% fact. Just like the Chiefs and the Chargers are always a close game. Now, Reg says first quarter over both games are juiced minus 162. The first quarter over in the first game, the Chiefs and the Bills at 10.5, I'm not taking. Kansas City has not had one first quarter in any of their games that has gone over 10. Or excuse me, over 10. They had one that hit 10. The other ones have all stayed under. The Bills are 1-3 or 1-2 in their last 3 games hitting over. That one I can't touch. As far as this one goes, Arizona and Dallas. Again, first quarter over 10 minus $1.20. First quarter over 10 minus $1.20. I like. First half over 26.5. I think we see points here. Keep in mind where they're playing. All right? Keep in mind where they're playing. Weather will not be a factor. Weather will not be a factor. And Johnny K, it is still minus $1.15. I don't care if it was minus $1.30, I'd still be on it. Okay? The reason why I'm not taking the spread is because of the value. If you can see value in laying 1 minus 108, well then you need to start thinking about common sense and math. I'd rather lay 7 cents more and take them on the money line. And that way if I win by 1, we win. Now again, by no means do I think this is going to be a shootout a blowout. By no means do I think Dallas is going to roll in there and just absolutely mop up on their home field against the Cardinals. The Cardinals are going to put up points, but it's a matter to me on how many and if it goes over. The total on this one being 55, and even Steven 55 points. As far as the total goes, the Cowboys have been an over magnet. The Cardinals have not. The Cardinals have not been an over magnet team at all. Matter of fact, they have not had one game go over the total. Now, their game against Carolina, where they lost 31-21, the number on that one was 52, and that's where it ended. Mark says Dalton over yards. Depending on what his yardage is. Guys, full disclaimer, I'm not a big prop better. Props are like the penny slots. They're absolutely everywhere. Okay? Full disclaimer. Can you make money betting props? Yes. Do I make money betting props? Yes. Is it one of the big things that I look for? Absolutely not. All right? I'm not a big... Matter of fact, I haven't even looked to see what the passing yardage props are. Okay? Because props are not big into my concern. If you have money to bet into props, and if you can find one winner on the game, you're better off putting that prop money on the winner of the game and really making some money. Because there are so many variables that can affect a prop winning or losing, like Andy Dalton, or Kyler Murray rush yards, or Kyler Murray passing yards, or how many touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb yards. They don't have to use him to win the game. Just like Andy Dalton doesn't have to technically throw a single pass the entire game, and the Cowboys can actually win a game. Or it could be vice versa. Here we are talking about the run game, that Dallas needs to establish the run. Dallas has been playing from behind. You have one of the best running backs in the entire NFL, and you run, on average, 25 rushing plays a game. Now, you average 4.2 yards per carry. Common sense, run it 3 times. That's 12.6 yards, right? That's a first down and a first down and a first down and a first down and a first down. But when you're playing from behind all the time and you're getting your ass kicked, all right, and you're getting your ass kicked, you generally don't get to run the ball. Now, the Cowboys really haven't got their ass kicked, so that's not even a good analogy. They lost by 3 to the Rams. They won by 1 in Atlanta, or against Atlanta, at home. They lost by a touchdown to Seattle, and they lost by 9 to the Browns, and they won by 3 against the Giants. Every single one of their games has been decided, with the exception of 1, by a touchdown or less. 3 of their 5 games have been decided by what? 3 points or less? Tony says, prime example, I had Monsert over 76.5 last night. He ends the first half with 65 and doesn't come back on the field. And the 49ers still won the game. The 49ers still took my 6,500. Props, I'm not a fan of. I'm just not a fan of. So as far as this game goes, other avenues to bet. Now, as far as the total goes, I can give you a case, the reason why it goes over. I can give you a case on the reason why it goes under the total. All right? As far as the total goes, the last time they played, it was a 28-17, but throw that shit right out the window because what happened 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 12 years ago have no bearing. All right? Have no bearing. I love it. They say the Cowboys are 7-2 against the spread hosting Arizona. Yeah, I'm taking the Cowboys. Does that help me out? That stat does, but it really has no bearing because 5 games ago was 12 years. 12 years ago, the 5th time that they played them. So all of that shit doesn't even matter. Kyler Murray wasn't even in college when they played each other 5 games ago. Una says the Cardinals don't run the personnel to protect them from the Cowboys' pass rush. Kyler Murray is going to struggle. I think Kyler Murray definitely gets pressured. I think they get to him. I think they rough him up a little. The thing with Kyler is those little wheels, they keep on moving, and he is quick. He is quick. Tanner Pong says he had the Rams last night as well. Feel the pain. And I hear you. And again, to the people that didn't see it, here's my big whopping loser, all right? To the tune of 6,500 to win 5K on the Rams. I'd rather show you guys a losing ticket than a winning ticket to show you guys that I actually give you guys real perspective from a betting standpoint. This is fine and Danny. We can get into the argument about the Reuben sandwich, about who's elite and who's not all day long. But when it comes to betting, I'm going to give you guys a better perspective. As of right now, the only thing that I've bet on this game is the Cowboys on the money line. Now, I am going to be betting the first quarter over 10. The first quarter over 10 will be another free play for you guys. Tony says home run props are crazy. Absolutely. 2+ home runs in a game is plus 2,400. That shit's insane. You almost want to put a little sprinkle on that one just for shits and giggles. So, Arizona, Dallas, first quarter. And the board froze on me, so eventually we'll get to it in just a second. There we go. Q is quarter. O is over. It's over 10 minus $1.20 at Bet Online. Remember, if you want 2 days of free premium plays, or 2 days of my personal plays free at no cost to you, go to our website right here, guys. Right here. It tells you how to get it, all right? It tells you how to get it right there, right on the screen. Can't discuss it on YouTube because YouTube will slap my wrist because they don't like us talking about those fun things on here. The fun police come out. Tony says, whenever betting Cowboys money line, there's always one rule. Wait for the other team to get a touchdown first, as it always effing happens. Right? I've already bet it. I will probably be betting it again. Real Champ says, damn, should be 9.5, but cool. See, here's my rule again with the NFL. NFL first quarter props, I don't bet as many of them as I do college. College, you see some crazy first quarter props. 14.5, 16.5, 17, 21. As far as the NFL goes, we see 7s, 7.5s, 9.5s, 10 and 10.5s. As far as the 10.5s go, like in the first game, I'm not a fan of. I usually don't bet the NFL over 10.5 in the first quarters. So many times does it end 7-3. You only get 15 minutes in a quarter. So many times they end 7-3. So when we get a total like today in the Dallas game that's at 10, the way I look at it is I feel worst case scenario, we push. That's, to me, in my opinion, worst case scenario is we're looking at a push. Best case scenario, they go down, we get 2 scores, or a touchdown and a touchdown, or a touchdown and two field goals, all within the first quarter. If you can get it at 9.5, I would take it at 9.5. If you have it at 9.5, that is light years ahead, and in my opinion, well worth whatever juice they're going to tax you, which would probably make it $1.60 or $1.50-ish to get it at 9.5. But if you can get it at 9.5, by all means, I mean, that's a great value bet right there. The over 10s, the 10.5, I usually don't touch in the NFL. I don't care who it is. I usually don't touch them in the NFL if it's over 10, okay? Or excuse me, over 10.5. 10s, the way I look at it, best case scenario, you're looking at getting your money back. All right, guys, those are the 2 free plays. I'll throw them across the board one more time for you guys, and we'll get you guys on your merry way. I actually had an awesome time with the show, even with the Reuben sandwich and the elite talk and all of the nonsense there. We had 2 games on the board. We went live for over 3 hours shooting the shit, bullshit, and the barbershop talk, all of that good stuff. If you're on our premium plays, they'll be posted on the website. We got a couple different avenues that we're working on to put even more money in everybody's pocket. So if you're not on board, trust me, the 2 free plays that I gave you, that's not just all that we have. That's not just what we have. And again, I wish everybody luck. It doesn't matter if you're on our side or you take in Arizona. You know, I don't ever want to see anybody lose, so I wish everybody the best of luck. Fade, follow at your own risk. But I know who I'm betting. I put it up on the board. As of right now, those are the only 2 bets that I have, but I will have a couple more here in a little bit. So if you're on premium plays, stand by within the next 25, 30 minutes. You should see them on the website as well. Mike Z, you have a great day as well. We're definitely going to get that green today. We hit a hell of a lot more first quarter props than we don't, that's for sure. Joshua, you're very welcome, sir. Jermaine Reed, you're very welcome. Everybody tuning in, including Ruben, the elite commenter. Thank you as well. Thank you as well. He must have had to go back to work. Definitely hit the subscribe button if you're new to the YouTube channel. Again, even though we have 1 game on the board tomorrow, we will be live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 Pacific. We'll give a full recap of everything that we did from tonight, as well as what we got for the World Series in game number 1. And we'll try and take a live look ahead and start breaking down some early action football, NFL and college for later in the week. We'll try and take a look at some of the odds and what might stand out ahead of time. But again, I'm not a big bettor when it comes to betting super early in the week because of obviously injuries and stuff of that nature. Mike says, excellent show. Scott says, great show. I actually had a great time. Rich, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Chris, you're very welcome. I actually had a lot of fun today. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm actually going to go find an ear, nose, and throat doctor that will fix my ear from being whatever it is. That way maybe I'll be able to hear tomorrow or the next day. All right, guys, take it easy. Good luck. Always bet within your means. Don't do anything stupid. Thank you, B-Jack. 2 81 says, love the show, love the insight. Let's get this money. Absolutely. Win, lose, or draw, we'll be back tomorrow, baby. All right, guys, good luck, everybody. Have a blessed Monday. Be safe, bet responsibly. We'll see you guys live tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Have a great day.